Chapter 1567. When Yi Chaochuan regained his composure, Wu Yu stopped examining him. He understood his situation now. His situation isn't too serious, but I can't get rid of the heart demon in his body with my ability. After knowing Yi Chaochuan's situation, Wu Yu didn't hide it from the Fox King and the others. There's no way. The Fox King and the others paled when they heard Wu Yu's words. Deep disappointment flashed across their faces. Could it be that the ancestors of the Fox clan really had no way to save him? His inner demon wasn't caused by cultivation or poison. Instead, it was caused by a primordial curse. Looking at the disappointed faces of the Fox King and the others, Wu Yu continued unhurriedly, explaining Yi Chaochuan's situation. Then he added, if you can invite a demon sovereign expert to devour his inner demons, then there won't be a problem. Invite a demon sovereign to help? The hope that the Fox King and the others had just raised was immediately extinguished when they heard Wu Yu's idea. Not to mention whether or not they could find the demon venerable powerhouse. Even if they did, so what? With the strength of the nine-tailed Fox clan, would they be able to get one to help? After a brief moment of disappointment, the Fox King and the others were filled with anticipation. They couldn't help but turn to look at Mo Qingyun. If talking about someone who could invite a fiend Empyrean powerhouse, then there was only Mo Qingyun alone. However, from the current situation, it seemed that Mo Qingyun's relationship with the Heavenly Soul Demon clan was very difficult to achieve. If you can't get a demon sovereign to help, you can activate a powerful demon weapon and devour his heart demon, Wu Yu added calmly. Demon weapon? The Fox King and the others smiled bitterly again. They felt a strong sense of helplessness. They felt powerless against Wu Yu's suggestion, not to mention whether they could find such a demon weapon. Even if they could, they wouldn't be able to activate it. Normally, powerful demon weapons required a corresponding cultivation method to refine and activate them. Otherwise, if they forcefully activated a powerful demon weapon, demonic qi would enter their body and they would end up like Yi Chaochuan. At that time, they might even lose their lives, let alone save Yi Chaochuan. Grandmaster Wu Yu, is there any other way? Although Wu Yu's two methods were difficult to achieve, the Fox King did not want to give up. He hoped that Wu Yu had other methods. In his opinion, since Wu Yu could think of these two methods, he might be able to think of other methods as well. At present, I can only think of these two methods. As for whether there are other methods, let me think about it later. Under the Fox King's expectant gaze, Wu Yu revealed an apologetic expression and shook her head. Hearing Wu Yu's answer, the Fox King's expression immediately became heavy, and he said in a disappointed tone, in that case, let's go back. We'll try to treat the ancestors when we think of another way. Wait, just as Fox King and the others were about to leave, Mo Qingyun's eyes lit up as he recalled the Tiger Soul in his consciousness. In terms of a powerful Mo weapon, Tiger Soul was definitely the best. Qingyun, do you have any ideas? Hearing Mo Qingyun's words, the Fox King and the others' eyes lit up as they looked at Mo Qingyun expectantly. From Mo Qingyun's current expression, he must have thought of a good idea. Under everyone's expectant gaze, the corner of Mo Qingyun's mouth rose slightly as he smiled faintly. Although I can't guarantee that my method will work, we can still give it a try. Really? Hearing Mo Qingyun's words, the Fox King and the others were immediately overjoyed. The anticipation in their hearts grew even stronger as they said, tell us, what method do you have that we can give a try? I once obtained a powerful Mo armament, but because I wasn't strong enough, I couldn't gain its recognition. Perhaps we can ask it to give it a try. In response to the Fox King's question, Mo Qingyun did not hide anything and told them about Tiger Soul. Hearing Mo Qingyun's words, the Fox King and the others were pleasantly surprised as they looked at Mo Qingyun expectantly. Under their expectant gazes, Mo Qingyun began to communicate with Tiger Soul, asking it to help devour Yi Chaochuan's inner demons. Kid, what do you want from me? In his consciousness, Tiger Soul asked somewhat impatiently when it heard Mo Qingyun's voice transmission. Mo Qingyun did not mind Tiger Soul's tone as he continued to communicate with it calmly. I'm in some trouble right now, and I'd like to ask for your help. Didn't you promise me that you could help me a few times? Tell me, what do you want me to help with? Tiger Soul was straightforward after knowing Mo Qingyun's thoughts. It asked Mo Qingyun directly, I'll say this first. I can't fight a powerful Mo armament right now. There's no need for that. Mo Qingyun shook his head with a faint smile. A trace of a smile appeared at the corner of his mouth as he said, Actually, this favor that I'm asking of you will be of great help to your recovery. Oh, is that so? Mo Qingyun's words immediately piqued Tiger Soul's interest. It urged, Tell me, what do you want me to help with? I have a few friends who have been invaded by inner demons. I want you to help me devour the inner demons in their bodies. Mo Qingyun did not hide anything from Tiger Soul's urgent question. He directly told Tiger Soul his intentions. Devour inner demons? Tiger Soul's weapon spirit licked its lips in anticipation. It said eagerly, Tell me immediately where those fellows are. I'll devour their inner demons right now. Following that, a huge saber covered in demonic aura appeared before the Fox King and the others. Thump, thump, thump. Under the impact of Tiger Soul's demonic aura, the Fox King and the others all retreated. They looked at Tiger Soul in shock. That's Tiger Soul, ranked 3rd on the primordial demonic weapon ranking? To think that Qingyun would have obtained it. This is unbelievable. I really can't see through him anymore. Just how many secrets is he hiding? It's clear that Qingyun is extraordinary to be acknowledged by such a demonic weapon. The moment Tiger Soul appeared before everyone, the Fox King and the others recognized it immediately. They were all stunned. Under the shocked gazes of the Fox King and the others, Tiger Soul glanced at Yi Chaochuan. It flipped its body and said excitedly, Kid, is he the person you're talking about? His body is indeed filled with demonic intent. That's him. As for how to devour inner demons, I don't think I need to tell you. Seeing that Tiger Soul already knew that it was Yi Chaochuan, Mo Qingyun nodded at it, indicating that it could take action immediately. Of course, I don't need you to teach me such a small thing. The demonic aura on Tiger Soul pulsed continuously as it flew to Yi Chaochuan rapidly. Chapter 1568. A huge shadow of a tiger appeared in front of Yi Chaochuan. It opened its mouth and tried to swallow him. Soon, Yi Chaochuan was enveloped by a cloud of black mist. A demonic aura radiated from him. Yi Chaochuan's face paled when the demonic aura radiated. His aura gradually became violent. You brats, attack immediately. Help me suppress this guy. Sensing the change in Yi Chaochuan's aura, Tiger Soul immediately ordered the Fox King and the others to suppress Yi Chaochuan. Hearing Tiger Soul's order, the Fox King and the others did not dare to hesitate. They immediately attacked to suppress Yi Chaochuan. Under the suppression of the Fox King and the others, Yi Chaochuan's aura gradually stabilized. However, his body began to tremble violently. Come out. As Yi Chaochuan was suppressed, Tiger Soul snickered coldly and flipped twice in the air. Roar. While the Tiger Soul was tumbling, the huge tiger demonic shadow in the air roared at the sky. As the tiger's shadow roared, it swung its head violently and pulled out a figure from Yi Chaochuan's group. When the figure emerged from Yi Chaochuan's body, Yi Chaochuan's complexion turned for the better. A hint of color gradually returned to his face. Seeing Yi Chaochuan's reaction, the Fox King and the others were delighted. They immediately became emotional. Judging from the current situation, Yi Chaochuan should be fine. He had successfully broken free from the corrosion of his inner demon. Patriarch Chaochuan, how are you feeling? Arriving before Yi Chaochuan, the Fox King and the others showed concern and asked about Yi Chaochuan's situation. Hearing their questions, Yi Chaochuan smiled faintly. He said with clear eyes, I'm fine now. You don't have to worry about me. Go save the other patriarchs. All right. Hearing Yi Chaochuan's words, the Fox King and the others nodded. Their expressions became much more relaxed. If that's the case, you can cultivate here and recover in peace. I'll go save the other patriarchs. The Fox King said something to Yi Chaochuan before turning to Mo Qingyun. He wanted Mo Qingyun to ask Tiger Soul to save the others. How comfortable. Seeing the hints from Fox King and company, Mo Qingyun turned his head to look at Tiger Soul. He saw Tiger Soul jumping happily in midair. He said something that he hadn't had enough of before. "Kid, where are the others? Get them to bring me over immediately." "All right." Upon hearing Tiger Soul's urging, Mo Qingyun no longer hesitated and nodded at the Fox King and the others. Seeing Mo Qingyun, the Fox King immediately led the way and led Tiger Soul to save the other patriarchs to save the other patriarchs. The situation of the others was indeed much worse than Yi Chaochuan's, but it was not difficult for Tiger Soul. Thanks to Tiger Soul's repeated attacks, the nine-tailed fox clan's forefathers all managed to break free from their inner demons. The Fox King and the others were overjoyed to see that their clan's patriarchs had successfully broken free from the mental demons. In this way, they only needed to wait for the patriarchs to recuperate for a while, and then they would no longer need to fear the major clans. "Uncle Yi, I still have to refine medicine with Wu Yu. I won't be accompanying you for now." Mo Qingyun left the cave abode and told the Fox King that he was going to help Wu Yu refine medicine. Wu Yu needed the inky Qilin cauldron. Without Mo Qingyun's help, he would not be able to control the cauldron. The Fox King nodded at Mo Qingyun's words. He arranged a place for Mo Qingyun and Hui Yuhao to refine medicine. Soon, Mo Qingyun and Hui Yuhao arrived at a quiet courtyard under the Fox King's personal guidance. After bringing Mo Qingyun and Hui Yuhao to the courtyard, the Fox King left immediately. He was worried that he would disturb Mo Qingyun and Hui Yuhao. After the Fox King left, Mo Qingyun took out the inky Qilin cauldron and sorted out the materials provided by the Fox King. After everything was ready, Mo Qingyun and Hui Yuhao did not waste any more time and immediately started refining the immortal medicine. While Mo Qingyun and Hui Yuhao were refining the immortal medicine, the Nine-Tailed Fox clan was very peaceful. The other clans also did not make any moves. Mo Qingyun and the others were happy to see such a situation. Everyone could rest and recuperate in peace. However, everyone knew very well that behind the calm was a storm. The other clans had not attacked yet. They were probably worried that Zhong Yao and the others had been captured by the Nine-Tailed Fox clan. 2 days later, Mo Qingyun and Hui Yuhao successfully refined the immortal medicine to heal the Fox King and the others. After the immortal medicine was refined, Mo Qingyun gave it to the Fox King so that he could distribute it to everyone to heal their injuries. After handing the immortal medicine to the Fox King, Mo Qingyun and Wu Yu began to cultivate to recover the energy they had expended in refining medicine. Just like that, another 3 days passed. During these 3 days, the other clans were still biding their time, as if they did not care about Zhong Yao and the others. Seeing the other clans' behavior, the Fox King and the others were puzzled. This was not the style of the other clans. "Phew, I've finally recovered." After 3 days of focused cultivation, Mo Qingyun had recovered to his peak state. He stood up with a joyful expression. After withdrawing from his cultivation, Mo Qingyun opened the door and walked out. With a thoughtful expression, he said, "Since the Nine-Tailed Fox clan's ancestors have recovered, the threat to the Nine-Tailed Fox clan has been resolved. I should head to the Heavenly Soul Continent." Thinking about how he had spent half a month in the Nine-Tailed Fox clan, Mo Qingyun did not want to stay any longer. Not long after, Mo Qingyun and Wu Yu arrived at the Immortal Fox Palace. When Mo Qingyun walked into the palace, he saw the Nine-Tailed Fox clan's ancestors sitting in the main hall, chatting and laughing. It seemed that they had all recovered. "Young friend Mo, please take a seat." When they saw Mo Qingyun enter the Immortal Fox Palace, the Nine-Tailed Fox clan's ancestors stood up and warmly invited Mo Qingyun to take a seat. Mo Qingyun smiled faintly at the actions of the Nine-Tailed Fox clan's ancestors and nodded in response. "Uncle Yi, seniors, since the threat to the Nine-Tailed Fox clan has been resolved, I will now bid you farewell." Mo Qingyun sat down on a chair. He didn't beat around the bush and directly told the Fox King his plan. "Farewell." When they heard Mo Qingyun's words, the Fox King and the others were shocked. They were not at all surprised by Mo Qingyun's determination. They were still thinking of finding a suitable opportunity for Mo Qingyun and Siye to be a happy couple. Who would have thought that Mo Qingyun would leave the nine-tailed fox clan before they had a chance to do so? It had to be said that Mo Qingyun's decision had caught them off guard. Qingyun, you've been running around for the safety of our clan these past few days. Why don't you rest for a few more days before you leave? Seeing Mo Qingyun's recent astonishing performance, the Fox King was really reluctant to let Mo Qingyun leave. He wanted nothing more than for Mo Qingyun to stay in the nine-tailed fox clan forever. No, I have important matters to attend to. I'm afraid I can't stay any longer. Mo Qingyun looked apologetic at the Fox King's urging for him to stay. He politely refused his kind intentions and said, "After I've taken care of these matters, I will come back to the nine-tailed fox clan if I have the chance." Chapter 1569. As Mo Qingyun and the others conversed, an old man with a grave expression hurried into the Fox Immortal Hall. The Fox King immediately frowned when he saw the old man's expression. He hurriedly asked, "Elder Yilan, what's happened?" Elder Yilan scanned the crowd and said in a deep voice, "Forefather, Patriarch, it's bad. The heaven-devouring wolf clan and the other clans are attacking." "What? The heaven-devouring wolf clan and the other clans are attacking? What do we do now? Do we go out and fight? Will their attack be even more ferocious this time? What are you afraid of? Now that the forefathers have all recovered, we're no weaker than them. I've been so tense for so long that I forgot about this. I didn't react in time. This time, we'll make sure they don't return. We'll properly vent our anger from before." When they learned that the heaven-devouring wolf clan and the other clans were attacking, the Fox King and the others immediately panicked. However, when they thought about how the nine-tailed fox clan's current battle strength was no weaker than the heaven-devouring wolf clan and the other clans, they quickly calmed down. The heaven-devouring wolf clan and the other clans are attacking? Mo Qingyun was slightly taken aback by Elder Yilan's report. He was rather surprised by this sudden turn of events. If the heaven-devouring wolf clan had come just a little later, he might have left the nine-tailed fox clan. Since we've run into them, let's help the nine-tailed fox clan again. Seeing the nine-tailed fox clan's current situation, Mo Qingyun sighed inwardly and immediately made a decision. He knew very well that even if the nine-tailed fox clan's battle strength had increased greatly, it would still be difficult for them to contend against the heaven-devouring wolf clan. Thus, in order to completely resolve the nine-tailed fox clan's crisis, he decided to help them eliminate the heaven-devouring wolf clan. As for the other clans, once the heaven-devouring wolf clan no longer ruled over them, they were no longer a concern. "Uncle Yi, since the heaven-devouring wolf clan and the other clans are attacking, let's go meet them." Now that Mo Qingyun had made up his mind, he didn't want to waste any more time. He opened his mouth and suggested to the Fox King, "It just so happens that once the threat of the heaven-devouring wolf clan and the other major clans is dealt with, I can leave the nine-tailed fox clan in peace. Since that's the case, I'll leave the fox clan's command." Knowing that Mo Qingyun was going to help, the Fox King was pleasantly surprised and handed over the command without hesitation. In the Fox King's opinion, Mo Qingyun was more suitable to be the commander during the battle. In addition, the nine-tailed fox clans, the Golden Immortals clansmen, Yilan's. Yilan's wolf clan's Yi, Yi was Yi Fox Yi. Mo Qingyun, on the other hand, was different. At the same cultivation level, who could be his match? We also want to see what kind of amazing performance you will have in the next battle. Yi Chaochuan and the others didn't object to the Fox King's arrangement. Instead, they all looked expectant. It seems like they've already heard about Mo Qingyun's performance in the nine-tailed fox clan. Judging from this moment, Yi Chaochuan and the others' attitude towards Mo Qingyun should be very approving. In that case, let's set off. Seeing that everything was settled, Mo Qingyun stood up and led everyone to meet the enemy head-on. When Mo Qingyun entered the palace of the Immortal Fox clan, he saw Yi Chaochuan and the others. Suddenly, an idea flashed through his mind. Ancestors, in order to give the other clans a surprise attack, I think you should all leave for a while. Leave for a while? Yi Chaochuan and the others exchanged glances, unsure of what Mo Qingyun wanted to do. Though they didn't know what Mo Qingyun wanted to do, Yi Chaochuan and the others chose to believe in Mo Qingyun. Yi Chaochuan chuckled, "Hee hee, you're the commander now. You can arrange everything." Seeing Yi Chaochuan and the others cooperate, Mo Qingyun smiled in satisfaction and immediately sent them into the 5 directional towers. After telling Yi Chaochuan and the others to hide, Mo Qingyun no longer hesitated. He led the Fox King and the others on their journey. After a while, Mo Qingyun and the others arrived outside the 9-tailed Fox clan's territory. They saw a powerful group of people from the other clans. "Yi Mingheng, you sure have guts. How dare you detain people from our clans? Yi Mingheng, hand over our people immediately, or else we'll flatten the 9-tailed Fox clan. Also, hand over that Mo Qingyun kid to us as well." When they saw the Fox King and the others arrive, the various clans' faces darkened, and they immediately berated the Fox King. The Fox King remained indifferent to the reactions of the other clans. He replied nonchalantly, "Cut the crap. Since you want to attack the 9-tailed Fox clan, bring it on. The 9-tailed Fox clan is not afraid of you." Yi Mingheng, that Mo Qingyun's methods are strange, but he can't change the fate of the 9-tailed Fox clan. I hope you don't make a mistake. The person who spoke was the head of the sky-devouring wolf clan, Zhong Ruifang. He was also a golden immortal of the great firmament. In his opinion, the Fox King's current confidence should have something to do with Mo Qingyun's appearance. "Cut the crap. Since you want to fight, let's meet at the old place." The Fox King remained unmoved by Zhong Ruifang's threats. He coldly tossed out these words. Afterwards, the Fox King led Mo Qingyun and the others to the valley where he'd summoned the souls of the dead last time. Although Zhong Ruifang and the others were enraged by the Fox King's behavior, they still followed behind him. As for directly trampling the 9-tailed Fox clan, they didn't dare do so. At least, they didn't dare do so for now. If they forced the Fox King and the others into a corner, they'd directly destroy everything. The consequences would be terrifying. With the Fox King's strength as a golden immortal of the great firmament, he'd run to the various clans in a frenzy and slaughter their juniors. It wouldn't be long before the little north gates of the various clans were slaughtered by the Fox King. When that happened, even if the various clans destroyed the 9-tailed Fox clan, the gains wouldn't make up for the losses. Before long, Mo Qingyun and the others arrived at the valley and faced the various clans from afar. Mo Qingyun and the others had kept their distance from the various clans because Mo Qingyun had instructed them to do so. Having experienced Mo Qingyun's arrangement before, the Fox King and the others couldn't be any clearer. If he wasn't mistaken, Mo Qingyun was probably planning to have the ghosts self-destruct among the various major races now that he had given them such instructions. The sky-devouring wolf clan and the other clans didn't know what Mo Qingyun was thinking. When they saw the Fox King and the others' behavior, they immediately showed disdain and began to mock Mo Qingyun and the others. "Why'd you run so far? Are you all so cowardly? Yi Mingheng, do you think you can avoid this war by running so far away? Weren't you all very powerful just now? Why are you all so terrified now that you're on the battlefield?" People from all the clans sneered and laughed arrogantly, as if they were unbeatable in this world. The corners of Mo Qingyun's mouth curled up slightly when he saw the reactions of the people from the various clans. A trace of mockery appeared on his face. Let them be smug for a while. The show was about to begin. Chapter 1570. As Mo Qingyun smiled faintly, he summoned the 3 perfected golden immortal ghosts from the 5 Directions Pagoda. The 3 perfected golden immortal ghosts exuded a breathtaking aura when they came out of the 5 Directions Pagoda. Sensing the aura of the perfected golden immortal ghosts, the people of the various clans were shocked and couldn't react for a long time. Ghosts? Perfected golden immortal ghosts? Since when did the 9-tailed Fox clan have such things? No wonder Yi Mingheng dares to be so arrogant. It turns out that he's relying on 3 perfected golden immortal ghosts. Yi Mingheng, you can't change your fate with just 3 perfected golden immortal ghosts. Just 3 perfected golden immortal ghosts. This old man will eliminate them now and see what else you can rely on later. Let's go together and eliminate the 3 perfected golden immortal ghosts first, then slowly deal with Yi Mingheng and the others. After calming down, Zhong Ruifang and the others revealed a cold expression and attacked the 3 perfected golden immortal ghosts. Seeing the actions of Zhong Ruifang and the others, Mo Qingyun smiled faintly, and a trace of playfulness flashed in his eyes. Originally, he was still thinking about how to let the perfected golden immortal ghosts get close to Zhong Ruifang and the others. Now that Zhong Ruifang and the others had arrogantly taken the initiative to attack, it saved him a lot of trouble. While Mo Qingyun was thinking, he summoned the lightning cloud crane and rode it to escape at top speed. These were perfected golden immortal ghosts. If he didn't escape quickly, he might not be able to escape in time later. When Mo Qingyun rode the lightning cloud crane and fled, the Fox King and the others behind him were also looking forward to it. Now it seems that Qingyun is preparing to let the perfected golden immortal ghosts self-destruct to attack Zhong Ruifang and the others. I want to see how arrogant Zhong Ruifang and the others can be in a while. It's already good enough if Zhong Ruifang and the others don't cry. They can't continue to be arrogant. The self-destruction of a perfected golden immortal ghosts is terrifying. We should continue to retreat. The Fox King and the others chatted and laughed for a while before they began to retreat to ensure their own safety. The actions of the Fox King and the others did not escape the attention of Zhong Ruifang and the others. Everything was closely watched by them. A perfected golden celestial from the Martin clan laughed proudly when he saw the Fox Monarch and the others retreating. Yi Mingheng, weren't you very arrogant just now? Why are you retreating now? Boom, boom, boom. At this moment, before the Martin clan expert could finish his sentence, a series of deafening noises were heard in front of them. Following that, a terrifying spiritual energy storm engulfed them in an unstoppable manner. Being engulfed by the spiritual energy storm, the expressions of Zhong Ruifang and the others immediately changed, and they let out a series of screams. No, don't. My Dao fruit has shattered. Zhong clan leader, please save me. I don't want to die yet. Damn brat, he actually used such a method to trick us. Brat, wait until this old man breaks through this spiritual energy storm. See how we'll deal with you then. Damn it. So Yi Mingheng and the others were hiding so far away to avoid the impact of the spirit energy storm. Knowing the real intention of the Fox Monarch and the others, Zhong Ruifang and the others were furious and let out a series of roars. With their intelligence, how could they not know that they had been tricked by Mo Qingyun? However, what they did not expect was that the 3 perfected golden celestial ghosts would be abandoned by Mo Qingyun. These were ghosts at the perfected golden celestial stage, and they were the top existences among the major clans. Swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. Not long after, 3 figures rushed out of the spiritual energy storm and glared at Mo Qingyun in a sorry state. Brat, how dare you trick us? Get your ass over here and accept your death. Zhong Ruifang and the others rushed out of the spiritual energy storm with a ferocious expression on their faces as they madly charged toward Mo Qingyun. Zhong Ruifang, your enemy is us. Let us meet you. Seeing the actions of Zhong Ruifang and the others, the Fox Monarch and the others immediately rushed toward them in a flash. Yi Mingheng, since you want to die, I'll fulfill your wish. Seeing that the Fox King and the others were charging towards the 3 of them, Zhong Ruifang angrily said, in the last battle, we were able to heavily injure you. This time, we will be able to kill all of you so that you will never be able to rise again. In their rage, Zhong Ruifang and the others did not notice that the injuries of the Fox Monarch and the others had completely healed. Zhong Ruifang, I'm afraid you don't have the ability to take my life. Stopping the 3 of them, the Fox Monarch smiled faintly and said in a playful tone, besides, your clans have bullied us for so long. Now it's our turn to fight back. You guys come as well. While the Fox Monarch and the others were fighting, Imo Qingyun moved Yi Chaochuan and the others out of the five-directional pagoda. Coming out of the five-directional pagoda, Yi Chaochuan and the others turned into afterimages and charged towards Zhong Ruifang and the others. Yi Chaochuan, the old foxes of the nine-tailed fox clan, have all broken free from the corrosion of their inner demons. Seeing Yi Chaochuan and the others appear, Zhong Ruifang's face trembled in shock and began to pale. This kind of situation was too out of his expectations. If he had known this would happen, he would never have rashly attacked the nine-tailed fox clan. In just half a month, the nine-tailed fox clan's strength had multiplied. This was truly unimaginable. Is it because of that kid? After a brief moment of shock, Zhong Ruifang immediately thought of the crux of the matter. He had discovered the reason for the nine-tailed fox clan's increase in strength. Given his understanding of the nine-tailed fox clan, Yi Mingheng and the others would never be able to resolve the inner demons of Yi Chaochuan and the others. As a result, the only person responsible for this situation was Imo Qingyun. Let's kill that strange kid first. Without him, the nine-tailed fox clan is nothing to worry about. After discovering how extraordinary Imo Qingyun was, Zhong Ruifang didn't dare to leave Imo Qingyun behind. He wanted nothing more than to kill Imo Qingyun right away. He was also very unwilling to accept that he, Zhong Ruifang, had lost to a brat of the minor star realm. More importantly, that strange kid might be the one who killed his son. This made it even more impossible for him to leave Imo Qingyun alive. Protect Qingyun with all your strength. Don't let him come to harm. Knowing what Zhong Ruifang was thinking, the Fox Monarch and the others didn't dare to hesitate. They immediately used all their strength to protect Imo Qingyun. Their thinking was very simple. Even if they died, they couldn't let Imo Qingyun get hurt. Chapter 1571. You want to kill me? Seeing that Zhong Ruifang wanted to kill him again and again, Imo Qingyun was slightly displeased. Killing intent radiated from his body. Since Zhong Ruifang wanted to kill him, he naturally could not react at all. He had to counterattack. Combination door. A door of light with two grooves quickly formed above Imo Qingyun. It radiated a terrifying sealing power. Under the erosion of this sealing power, Zhong Ruifang and the others' blood, qi, and soul were immediately sealed by tyrannical power. Splat! With their blood and soul injured, Zhong Ruifang and the others immediately spat out blood. Their auras quickly fell. Finding their strength slipping, Zhong Ruifang and the others were shocked. Their faces paled. This kind of situation caught them off guard. Now that they were heavily injured, they were no longer a match for Yi Chaochuan and the others. Now that their blood and soul were injured and their cultivation was sealed, this was cutting off their path of retreat. Their strength has been weakened. Let's kill them in one go. Finding Zhong Ruifang and the others' auras weakened, Yi Chaochuan and the others were overjoyed. Their attacks immediately became fierce. Beat a dog when it's down, take its life when it's down. They were very clear on this simple logic. Yi Chaochuan and the others' attacks increased. Zhong Ruifang and the others' situation immediately became dangerous. Bloodline suppression. However, without waiting for Zhong Ruifang's group of three to catch their breaths, Imo Qingyun executed another divine ability. Instantly, a terrifying bloody mist exploded from Imo Qingyun's body. The bloody mist exploded from Imo Qingyun's body and enveloped Zhong Ruifang and the others, suppressing their bloodline power. Zhong Ruifang and the others' bloodline was suppressed. The power of their attacks immediately decreased. With the help of Qingyun's ability, I can almost fight above my level. This feels so good. So I could be this strong too. Fighting above my level is so easy. Could it be that the gap between us and the powerful races is so obvious? Don't be careless. Quickly get rid of Zhong Ruifang and the other two so that Qingyun can rest. That's right. Qingyun must have exhausted a lot of his mind and spiritual energy to continuously use such powerful divine abilities. Although the pressure on Yi Chaochuan and the others was greatly reduced with Mo Qingyun's help, they didn't dare to be careless. Not only that, but in consideration of Mo Qingyun's exhaustion, Yi Chaochuan and the others' attacks became even stronger. Bang, bang, bang. Under the attacks of Yi Chaochuan and the others, Zhong Rui Fong and the other two were injured one after another. They were sent flying by Yi Chaochuan and the others. Being attacked by Yi Chaochuan and the others, Zhong Rui Fong and the other two's injuries immediately became a little more serious. If nothing unexpected happened, Zhong Rui Fong and the other two were already at the end of their journey. Even so, Yi Chaochuan and the others did not show any mercy. They mercilessly attacked Zhong Rui Fong and the other two. They knew very well that if they were in their current situation, Zhong Rui Fong and the others would not show any mercy. At this moment, while Yi Chaochuan and the others were fighting, a few figures rushed out of the spirit energy storm. These people looked even worse than Zhong Rui Fong and the others. All of them were crippled, their faces were pale, and their breathing was chaotic. If it weren't for their powerful cultivations, they would have been dead by now after suffering such injuries. However, although they managed to keep their lives, from the looks of it, they were most likely half dead. Of course, even if they were half dead, they couldn't be underestimated. After all, they were golden immortals of the great all-embracing heaven. Patriarch Zhou Xiang, quickly go and kill that kid. This kid is too strange. Seeing these people rush out of the spirit energy storm, Zhong Rui Fong's face was filled with venom as he hurriedly urged them. Now that Zhong Rui Fong was furious, he no longer cared about his own life. He only wanted to kill Mo Qingyun as soon as possible. Not good. They want to deal with Qingyun. Hearing the words of Zhong Rui Fong and the others, the Fox King and the others were shocked and wanted to go and protect Mo Qingyun. Seeing that the Fox King and the others were ready to protect Mo Qingyun, Zhong Rui Fong and the others showed a vicious expression and a trace of madness. Yi Mingheng, today that kid will die without a doubt. None of you can save him. Zhong Rui Fong and the others roared. The aura they emitted immediately rose to an astonishing level. As the aura of Zhong Rui Fong and the others increased, the Fox King and the others were immediately entangled by Zhong Rui Fong and the others. Not good. They're burning their Dao fruit. Seeing the actions of Zhong Rui Fong and the others, the Fox King and the others were shocked, and their expressions immediately became serious. The Dao fruit was the same as the immortal infant, star position, and incense golden body. They were the most fundamental existence of a cultivator. However, the most fundamental thing for golden immortals of the great all-embracing heaven was the Dao fruit. Once the Dao fruit was destroyed, their cultivation would be damaged if it was light, and their cultivation would fall if it was heavy. They would even be reduced to a cripple from then on. Seeing that they were entangled by Zhong Rui Fong and the others, the Fox King and the others showed anxiety and deep worry on their faces. With Mo Qingyun's cultivation, how could he be a match for Zhou Xiang and the others? Compared to the worry of the Fox King and the others, Mo Qingyun was much more indifferent. He looked at Zhou Xiang and the others with a calm expression. Glancing at Zhou Xiang and the others who were attacking, Mo Qingyun summoned some golden immortal ghosts and had them intercept Zhou Xiang and the others. Bang, 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 bang. When the ghosts arrived in front of Zhou Xiang and the others, they self-detonated one after another, bursting forth with terrifying power. Then, Zhou Xiang and the others were swallowed by the spiritual energy storm and were crazily attacked by the spiritual energy storm. Damn kid, making the ghosts explode to attack us again. Kid, if you have the ability, fight us head on. What's the point of relying on the ghosts to explode? Kid, you actually cripple my hand. I'm going to tear you to pieces. Being injured by the self-explosion of the golden immortal ghosts, Zhou Xiang and the others had a gloomy expression and let out angry roars. Under normal circumstances, with their powerful strength, they would not be afraid of the self-explosion of the golden immortal ghosts. However, they were all seriously injured and were almost half dead. How could they withstand such an attack? Since you want to fight me head-on, I'll fulfill your wish." Hearing the words of Zhou Xiang and the others, Mo Qingyun stopped not far away and said with a cold and arrogant expression, "However, if you fight me head-on, you will die faster." As soon as Mo Qingyun finished speaking, he summoned the last great overarching golden celestial ghost from the five-directional pagoda. Now that these people were all seriously injured, it would not be difficult to deal with them when he merged with the golden immortal ghost. Gate of Fusion. After summoning the golden immortal ghost, Mo Qingyun used the Gate of Fusion and merged with the golden immortal ghost. Then, Mo Qingyun merged with the golden immortal ghost, and the aura he emitted increased rapidly. Chapter 1572. Of course, Mo Qingyun's current strength was comparable to that of a perfected golden immortal. However, there were still some obvious differences between him and an ordinary perfected golden immortal. This was because the strength he possessed now came from fusing with ghosts, not from true cultivation. Therefore, there was no Tao fruit in his body, and he could only be considered a half-step perfected golden immortal. Patter. After fusing with the perfected golden immortal ghost, Mo Qingyun's physical endurance reached a limit. If one observed carefully, one would notice that obvious cracks began to appear on the surface of Mo Qingyun's skin. The perfected golden immortal ghost spiritual energy is too strong. With my current physical strength, I can't accommodate so much spiritual energy. After discovering his physical condition, Mo Qingyun quickly thought about how to resolve the situation. In this case, I must get rid of these people in front of me before my physical body can't take it anymore. With that in mind, Mo Qingyun immediately rushed toward Zhou Xiang and the others. Perfected golden immortal? Did he hide his cultivation? What kind of divine ability is this? It can increase his strength by so much. How is this possible? With his physical strength of a lesser star, how can he accommodate so much spiritual energy? It's unbelievable that Qingyun knows such a divine ability. It seems that we were overthinking. Seeing Mo Qingyun's performance, the Fox King and the others had a sharp contrast between their emotions and those of Zhou Xiang and the others. Great heavenly demon finger. Not far from Zhou Xiang and the others, Mo Qingyun blasted out a finger without hesitation, and a burst of immortal spiritual energy erupted like water from a broken dam. This burst of immortal spiritual energy erupted from Mo Qingyun's fist, covering the entire world and dimming the light. At the same time, a huge black finger condensed and formed above Zhou Xiang and the others. When the giant black finger was formed, it blasted toward Zhou Xiang and the others with a destructive aura. What a powerful finger. Everyone, use all your strength to block it. Facing the attack of the great heavenly demon finger, Zhou Xiang and the others were so frightened that their bodies trembled. They hurriedly blocked the finger in midair. One after another, Zhou Xiang and the others unleashed their powerful abilities to block the great heavenly demon finger's attack. Bang, 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 bang. Zhou Xiang and the others' attacks landed on the great heavenly demon finger, resulting in a series of loud blasts. At the same time as the loud noise was heard, a shocking spiritual energy storm also erupted in midair. A moment later, the spiritual energy storm in the air dissipated, and the great heavenly demon finger was stopped by Zhou Xiang and the others. Seeing that Mo Qingyun's finger attack had been blocked, Zhou Xiang and the others relaxed and revealed a lingering fear on their faces. If they hadn't seen it with their own eyes, they wouldn't have been able to imagine that a lesser star realm cultivator could be so powerful. No, the spirit energy in my body is getting more and more violent. My body can't take it anymore. Sensing the swelling on his body, Mo Qingyun's face tensed up and his mood immediately became heavy. If he dispelled his fusion state, he wouldn't be able to stop Zhou Xiang and the others with his lesser star realm cultivation. No, I can't dispel my fusion state without killing these people. I have to hold on. Thinking of the consequences of dispelling his fusion, Mo Qingyun clenched his teeth and attacked Zhou Xiang and the others. Xiaoza, heavenly spirit finger. In action, heaven concealing finger. Middle point killing finger. Great heavenly demon finger. At this moment, Mo Qingyun seemed to have gone mad as he unleashed a series of abilities in a frenzy. Waves of terrifying immortal spiritual energy gathered above Zhou Xiang and the others, transforming into a giant finger with a threatening aura. Is this kid crazy? Isn't he afraid of exhausting his spirit energy by unleashing abilities in such a frenzy? This kid is too strange. No wonder Patriarch Zhong Ruifeng told us to kill him. If this kid doesn't die, we won't be able to eat or sleep in peace. We have to kill him today. That's right. This kid is only a lesser star realm cultivator, but his strength is already so terrifying. If he matures, he'll be even more terrifying. Everyone, let's ignite our Dao fruits immediately and kill this kid first. Otherwise, we'll all die today. After witnessing Mo Qingyun's strength and strangeness, Zhou Xiang and the others revealed sinister expressions. They looked like they were ready to throw caution to the wind. Zhou Xiang and the others' auras quickly surged, rising by a minor realm in the blink of an eye. In this way, the combination gate suppression on them was no longer effective. Ignite your Dao fruits? Mo Qingyun frowned slightly when he saw the actions of Zhou Xiang and the others. Mockery appeared on his face as he said, "I'd like to see how long you can last after burning your fruits of ways." As Mo Qingyun spoke, he summoned many more ghosts and had them self-detonate to attack Zhou Xiang and the others. Xiaoza, heavenly spirit finger. In action, heaven concealing finger. Great heavenly demon finger. When Mo Qingyun summoned ghosts, he didn't forget to launch a frenzied barrage of attacks to exhaust the rampaging immortal spiritual energy in his body. As his immortal spiritual energy was consumed, Mo Qingyun's body felt much more comfortable. He no longer felt like his body was about to explode. Without the feeling of his body exploding, Mo Qingyun felt much more relaxed. His heart, which had been hanging in suspense, finally relaxed. Although Mo Qingyun's mood was relaxed, Zhou Xiang and the others were in dire straits. They even wanted to die. They'd originally thought that after igniting their Dao fruits, they'd be able to kill Mo Qingyun in a spurt of energy. Who would have thought that Mo Qingyun would act like he'd taken drugs and attack them like a madman? More importantly, when Mo Qingyun attacked, they had to divert their attention to the ghost to self-detonate. Under a two-pronged attack, they suffered unspeakably. Their hearts were filled with resentment. Most importantly, as time passed, the effects of igniting their Dao fruits grew weaker and weaker. Once their Dao fruits were completely ignited, even a normal person could kill them, let alone Mo Qingyun. What do we do? What do we do? Seeing that the situation was getting worse, Zhou Xiang and the others began to panic. Their faces grew paler and paler. They knew very well that if they couldn't think of a solution, they'd be dead meat today. As the saying goes, when it rains, it pours. Blessings don't come in pairs. Misfortune doesn't come singly. While Zhou Xiang and the others were panicking, Mo Qingyun's understanding of the fiend fist-shattering Milky Way had broken through. He'd mastered the last move. Fiend fist-shattering Milky Way. Mo Qingyun punched out, exploding with immortal spiritual energy like a ferocious tiger descending the mountain. It transformed into a gigantic black fist. When this black fist formed, it blasted towards Zhou Xiang and the others with the force of a thunderbolt. Seeing this scene, Zhou Xiang and the others' faces turned ashen, and they almost forgot to resist. Chapter 1573. Bam! The giant black fist was like a shooting star as it pierced through the sky. In the blink of an eye, the giant black fist was right in front of Zhou Xiang and the rest. The terrifying shockwave caused their faces to hurt. Facing the attack of the giant black fist, Zhou Xiang and the rest did not dare to hesitate as they all blocked the attack. Bam, 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 bam. The attacks of Zhou Xiang and the others landed on the giant black fist, resulting in a series of deafening blasts. Behind the deafening sounds, a terrifying spiritual energy storm formed in front of Zhou Xiang and the rest. As soon as the spiritual energy storm appeared, it swept out in all directions in a violent manner. Under the sweeping of the spiritual energy storm, Zhou Xiang and the rest who bore the brunt of it were immediately swept into it. Facing the erosion of the spiritual energy storm, Zhou Xiang and the rest were in great pain, but they did not dare to divert their attention to block it. Even so, they were still unable to block the thunderous attack of the giant black fist. Bam, bam, bam. Under the bombardment of the giant black fist, Zhou Xiang and the rest were instantly sent flying, producing a series of muffled sounds. In the process, some of the more seriously injured people had their bodies directly exploded and their spiritual souls were destroyed. No, this is impossible. With Zhou Xiang and the rest's strength, how could it be? Seeing the fate of Zhou Xiang and the rest, Zhong Ruifang and the rest were shocked as they could not accept such an outcome. Originally, they were still thinking that after Zhou Xiang and the rest killed Mo Qingyun, they could still come over and help them. Unexpectedly, the result was the opposite. Not only did Zhou Xiang and the rest fail to kill Mo Qingyun, but they were also defeated by Mo Qingyun. Traceless Demon Shadow, Lightning Wind Path. After sending Zhou Xiang and the rest flying with one punch, Mo Qingyun did not stop and chased after Zhou Xiang and the rest again. Demonic Fist-Shattering Star River. Mo Qingyun arrived in front of Zhou Xiang and the others in a few flickers. Then, he threw another punch at Zhou Xiang's group, using the demonic Fist-Shattering Star River again. Mo Qingyun was obviously more familiar with it, and his control of power was more precise. A terrifying immortal spiritual energy gathered above Zhou Xiang and the others, transforming into a huge fist and charging towards them in an overbearing manner. No, don't. With their previous strength, they were unable to withstand a single punch from Mo Qingyun, let alone now. Bang, 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 another deafening sound rang out. Zhou Xiang and the others all had looks of terror on their faces. They were unwilling to be killed. With the death of Zhou Xiang and the others, more than a dozen Dayuo Golden Celestials were killed by Mo Qingyun in the blink of an eye. He's only at the minor star realm. How can he be so strong? Seeing Zhou Xiang and the others killed in the blink of an eye, Zhong Ruifang and the others revealed a crazed look, as if they had received a great shock. Mo Qingyun's expression didn't change at the reaction of Zhong Ruifang and the others. He rushed towards the three of them without hesitation. Zhong Ruifang and the others were already at the end of the wall. Now that Mo Qingyun had joined the battle, their situation immediately became even worse. Heaven, Soul, Heaven, Sealing Fist. When Mo Qingyun joined the battle, he didn't hold back and immediately threw a punch at Zhong Ruifang. A fist shadow surrounded by flowing light appeared above Zhong Ruifang and smashed down on Zhong Ruifang domineeringly. Under the pincer attack of the Fox King and the others, Zhong Ruifang was already at a loss. He didn't have a mind to guard against Mo Qingyun. Boom! Zhong Ruifang was caught off guard. The Heaven, Soul, Heaven, Sealing Fist immediately hit him and restrained his movements. Seeing that his movements were restrained, Zhong Ruifang's expression immediately changed. His face instantly turned pale to the extreme. He said, "Yi Mingheng, clan leader Yi, let's talk." Zhong Ruifang's reaction was very fast. As soon as he saw that the situation in front of him was not right, he immediately begged the Fox King for mercy. Unfortunately, the Fox King and the others all chose to ignore his begging for mercy. Devil Fist shattering the Star River. Heavenly Fox destroying the world. Ice Fox Soul Absorption. Seeing that Zhong Ruifang's movements were damaged, Mo Qingyun and the others didn't stop attacking Zhong Ruifang. Suddenly, the sky above Zhong Ruifang shone brightly. A huge black fish shadow and several fox shadows with astonishing auras appeared. Boom, boom, boom. Facing the attack of the fish shadow and fox shadow, Zhong Ruifang was instantly drowned and let out a miserable cry. "No, I don't want to die." Without waiting for Zhong Ruifang to finish his words, his voice abruptly stopped and his aura disappeared bit by bit. From the looks of it, under the attack of Mo Qingyun and the others, even someone as powerful as Zhong Ruifang would be doomed. Zhong, clan leader Zhong. Seeing that Zhong Ruifang was killed, the two golden immortal experts next to him immediately turned pale with fright. Zhong Ruifang was the most powerful one among the few of them. Now that even Zhong Ruifang was killed, wouldn't they have even less strength to resist? Following the emergence of cowardice, the resistance of these two people was greatly weakened. Not long after, under the joint attack of Mo Qingyun and the others, these two people followed in Zhong Ruifang's footsteps. Huff! After killing Zhong Ruifang and the others, Mo Qingyun took a deep breath and removed the merged state. After removing the merged state, Mo Qingyun's body went soft, as if his body had been twitched. Qingyun, how are you? Seeing that Mo Qingyun's face was pale and his aura was weak, the Fox King immediately asked with concern. They could see that after the battle, just now, Mo Qingyun's consumption was extremely astonishing. They also knew that if Mo Qingyun was assisting from the side, with the current combat strength of the Nine-Tailed Fox clan, they would not be a match for Zhong Ruifang and the others. I'm fine. Mo Qingyun waved his hand and smiled faintly. He replied, in the battle just now, I've consumed a lot of energy. I'll be fine after I rest for a while. After responding to the Fox King and the others, Mo Qingyun did not say anything else and immediately sat down cross-legged to adjust his breathing. Seeing that Mo Qingyun was recovering, the Fox King and the others did not disturb him. They stood guard beside him. While the Fox King and the others were guarding Mo Qingyun, Yi Chaochuan and the others moved to kill the remaining people of the various clans. As Yi Chaochuan and the others joined the battle, the remaining people of the various clans were immediately slaughtered. In just a short while, all the people of the various clans were killed by the Fox King and the others. When the people of the various clans were killed, Mo Qingyun stopped cultivating and opened his eyes in joy. I didn't think that after the battle, just now, my understanding and usage of the wind would reach a whole new level. Realizing that his understanding of the wind had improved greatly, Mo Qingyun smiled in surprise. It seems like fighting is the fastest way to cultivate. No wonder everyone says that powerhouses emerge from battles of life and death. Why is there an extra sprout beside my nascent soul of creation? At this moment, Mo Qingyun suddenly discovered that some changes had occurred in his sea of consciousness. This green sprout actually has an astonishing power of the Wind Dao. Just what is it? Chapter 1574. After some observation, Mo Qingyun had a general understanding of this green sprout. Judging from the performance of this green sprout, it was somewhat similar to the Dao fruit of a perfected golden immortal powerhouse. Could it be that the Dao fruit of a perfected golden immortal is formed little by little like this? Observing the green sprout in his sea of consciousness, Mo Qingyun guessed in his heart. He was very curious about this green leaf. After pondering for a while, Mo Qingyun looked helpless and sighed. Forget it. I won't think about it anymore. I'll figure it out in the future. Mo Qingyun tossed aside the distracting thoughts in his mind and slowly stood up. Then he scanned his surroundings. Seeing Mo Qingyun stand up, the Fox King hurried to his side and asked with an inquiring attitude, Qingyun, now that Zhong Ruifang and the others have been killed, what should we do next? After witnessing Mo Qingyun's strength and his control of the battle, the Fox King had already regarded Mo Qingyun as his backbone. He believed that as long as he followed Mo Qingyun's arrangements, everything would go smoothly. Wait for me to convert the surrounding soul fragments. Then we'll go and clean up the major clans. In response to the Fox King's question, Mo Qingyun gave a simple reply and then used the spirit evocation gate. A light gate in the shape of a reincarnation vortex quickly condensed in midair and absorbed the surrounding soul fragments. Then, one by one, powerful ghosts came out of the spirit evocation gate. After a while, several golden immortal ghosts came to Mo Qingyun's side. After the golden immortal ghosts were summoned, perfected golden immortal ghosts began to come out of the spirit evocation gate. Following that, time passed bit by bit as Mo Qingyun continued to summon them. Seeing the ghosts appear one by one, Yi Chaochuan and the others were deeply moved and shocked. If nothing goes wrong, when Qingyun visits the major clans, his combat strength will increase greatly again. Yes, if I didn't see it with my own eyes, I would find it hard to believe that there is such a genius in the wasteland continent. It won't be long before the situation of the desolate continent changes because of this young man. I really look forward to that day. The Fox King and the others sighed and looked at Mo Qingyun with eyes full of expectation, gratification, and appreciation. About a day later, under Mo Qingyun's wholehearted summoning, the remnant souls in the surrounding space were all converted by him. After transforming all the remnant souls in the surrounding space, Mo Qingyun summoned a total of 16 perfected golden immortal ghosts. In addition to the great overarching golden celestial ghosts that he had left behind earlier, he now had 17 great overarching golden celestial ghosts under his control. Apart from that, the number of golden celestial stage ghosts under his control had exceeded 100. 17 golden immortal ghosts, and more than 100 golden immortal ghosts. What a terrifying combat strength. I'm afraid that our nine-tailed fox clan's combat strength won't be able to withstand such an attack. With Qin Yun's help, the major clans are no longer a concern. Seeing the ghosts around Mo Qingyun, the Fox King and the other sighed and admired Mo Qingyun even more. Mo Qingyun's mental strength had been greatly depleted after summoning so many ghosts, so he sat down cross-legged to recover. After several hours of rest, Mo Qingyun had returned to peak condition and his breathing had become steady and long. "Let's go." Mo Qingyun withdrew from his cultivation and said to the Fox King, "Uncle Yi, I need you to lead the way to deal with those clans." In Mo Qingyun's opinion, since he had already helped the nine-tailed fox clan, he might as well resolve the crisis once and for all. "All right." Hearing Mo Qingyun's words, the Fox King's face lit up and he led the way for Mo Qingyun. Because the major forces of the major clans had already been killed by Mo Qingyun and the others, and because they were fighting alone, the Fox Clan's clans had no chance of survival. Soon, one by one, the clans were wiped out by Mo Qingyun and the others. During this time, some of the clans who knew what was good for them chose to submit to Mo Qingyun. Mo Qingyun planted soul imprints in the minds of the experts of these races that were willing to submit to him. Mo Qingyun didn't kill the clans who didn't want to submit. He only killed those powerhouses above the Golden Immortal Realm. As for those below the Golden Immortal Realm, Mo Qingyun didn't bother with them and left them to fend for themselves. After all, the heavens had the virtue of caring for all living things. Mo Qingyun couldn't bring himself to exterminate an entire clan. Just like that, in a short 3 days, a total of 11 clans were wiped out. 2 of the clans fought to the end. All the powerhouses above the Golden Immortal Realm were killed by Mo Qingyun and the others. Among the 9 clans that had submitted, there were a total of 11 Golden Immortals of the great all-embracing heaven. All of them were subdued by Mo Qingyun. As a result, the number of Golden Immortals of the great all-embracing heaven that Mo Qingyun controlled now reached 28. 28 Golden Immortals of the great all-embracing heaven. How powerful was that? The Fox King and the others didn't know. After subduing the major clans, Mo Qingyun returned to the nine-tailed fox clan with the Fox King and the others. "See ya, Uncle Yi, since the crisis of the nine-tailed fox clan has been resolved, I should also take my leave." Standing in the air above the nine-tailed fox clan, Mo Qingyun swept a glance over Xie and the others and bid them farewell. Seeing that Mo Qingyun had made up his mind, the Fox King and the others didn't try to dissuade him. With concerned expressions, they said, "Be careful on your way back. We'll be waiting for your return." "Qingyun, I'll be waiting for you to bring little sister Wuyo and the others back to the Nine-Tailed Fox clan for a reunion. Given Sia's understanding of Mo Qingyun, she naturally knew why Mo Qingyun had gone to the Tianhan continent. All right, after chatting and laughing with the Fox King and the others, Mo Qingyun didn't linger any longer and left on a lightning cloud crane. Seeing Mo Qingyun's figure disappear, the Fox King and the others turned and returned to the Nine-Tailed Fox clan, waiting for Mo Qingyun to return. Master, where are we going now? A perfected golden celestial next to Mo Qingyun asked him respectfully as he rode the lightning cloud crane on the road. This perfected golden immortal was an ancestor of the sea-swallowing marten clan. His name was Gulanshan. Let's go to the Yongnan immortal domain first. I want to save a few people. Hearing Gulanshan's question, Mo Qingyun gave a simple reply and told him his thoughts. The Yongnan immortal domain? Gulanshan frowned, surprised by Mo Qingyun's destination. Master, the Yongnan immortal domain seems to be the territory of the immortals. It's under the jurisdiction of a faction called the Floating Dragon Ancient Kingdom. If we go there, I'm afraid we'll be attacked by their experts. Don't worry. Mo Qingyun shook his head, not taking Gulanshan's words to heart. Chapter 1575. That's right. With Master's battle strength, he doesn't need to be afraid of the Floating Dragon Ancient Kingdom. Gulanshan thought about it and felt relieved. He no longer worried about Mo Qingyun. I'm going to cultivate in the 5-directional pagoda. You can ride the lightning cloud crane. Mo Qingyun didn't reply to Gulanshan's words. He ordered him to ride the lightning cloud crane. Gulanshan didn't dare to hesitate after receiving Mo Qingyun's order. He immediately rode the lightning cloud crane. It will take a few days to reach the Eternal South Immortal Palace from here. I can break through the Great Star position now. After entering the 5-directional pagoda, Mo Qingyun didn't waste any more time and immediately started to break through the Great Star position. Light Gate Martial Spirit, appear. Mo Qingyun summoned the Light Gate Martial Spirit to break through to the next level. He was going to use the Light Gate Martial Spirit to sense the stars. When the Light Gate Martial Spirit was summoned, it emitted an ancient aura. Its aura was thicker and stronger than before. After summoning the Light Gate Martial Spirit, Mo Qingyun released his soul power and penetrated the Light Gate Martial Spirit. After his soul power penetrated the Light Gate Martial Spirit, Mo Qingyun found that his consciousness had arrived at an endless starry sky. With his previous experience, Mo Qingyun's consciousness arrived at the endless starry sky. He flew towards the deepest part of the starry sky. The situation was the same as last time. The deeper he went into the starry sky, the greater the pressure on his consciousness. Hold on, I must hold on. Through his previous experience, Mo Qingyun already knew that the deeper the eternal star was, the more powerful the condensed star would be. As time passed, Mo Qingyun broke through again and again, allowing his consciousness to go deeper into the starry sky. After about an hour, Mo Qingyun's consciousness finally reached its limit. Seeing that his consciousness had reached its limit, Mo Qingyun didn't force himself and started to sense the stars around him. This northern region's soul-pacifying star strengthens the soul power. It's not the most suitable star. This celestial wolf whirlwind star condenses a star position that strengthens one's movement technique, so it cannot be the first choice. This ghostly dragon wreaking havoc starfish can be condensed into a star position for strengthening techniques, but cannot be the first choice. This golden dragon overlord star strengthens the physical body. It's worth considering. As Mo Qingyun continued to comprehend the stars, he was able to clearly understand the specific information of each star. While Mo Qingyun was sensing the stars, a shining star attracted his attention. There's no aura fluctuation on this star. Arriving in front of the star, Mo Qingyun sensed the star and was surprised. Compared to other stars, this star was indeed different. Thinking of this, Mo Qingyun's curiosity about this star immediately rose to the extreme. Immediately, Mo Qingyun focused his mind and tried to communicate with the star. What Mo Qingyun did not expect was that this star was in between reality and illusion. It seemed to exist, but in reality, it didn't. If one were to say that it did not exist, then it would appear before his eyes. Illusory void star increases the ability to manipulate space. After Mo Qingyun's observation, his understanding of this star immediately increased by a lot. As his understanding of the star increased, Mo Qingyun gradually came to a decision. He planned to merge with the star. The Tao of space and the Tao of time are the most difficult to cultivate. Perhaps this illusory void star can give me some help. Mo Qingyun already had a very clear understanding of the cultivation of the power of Tao from his previous conversations with the Fox King and the others. Therefore, now that he had encountered a star related to space, he naturally wouldn't give up so easily. Let's go all out. Since the illusory void star energy has appeared here, there must be something special about it. After a short moment of hesitation, Mo Qingyun made up his mind. He decided to merge with this illusory void star. Thinking of this, Mo Qingyun no longer hesitated and immediately tried to merge with the illusory void star. As the illusory void star was in between reality and illusion, it was not easy for Mo Qingyun to sense it. However, although it was extremely difficult to comprehend it, Mo Qingyun did not give up because of this. On the contrary, Mo Qingyun felt that the more difficult it was to communicate with it, the more it meant that the illusory void star was not ordinary. Time passed by little. In the blink of an eye, 3 days had passed. For 3 consecutive days, Mo Qingyun's mind was almost at its limit as he tried to communicate with the illusory void star. If he still couldn't merge with the illusory void star in half a day, he would have to try again next time. Fortunately, hard work paid off. Under Mo Qingyun's perseverance, the illusory void star finally reacted. It's done. Noticing the illusory void star's reaction, Mo Qingyun immediately became excited and a bright smile appeared on his face. Since there was a reaction from the illusory void star, everything else would be easy. After a few more hours, under Mo Qingyun's efforts, he finally merged with the illusory void star. It's a success. Seeing that his illusory void star had successfully merged, Mo Qingyun's face revealed an excited expression, and even his heartbeat became faster. Compared to the first time he tried to merge with a star, the difficulty this time was undoubtedly many times higher. After calming down the excitement in his heart, Mo Qingyun didn't dare to delay any longer and immediately adjusted his breathing to recover his exhausted mind. After resting for about 15 minutes, when his mind had recovered by 50 to 60%, Mo Qingyun began to condense the star position. Now that he had sufficient incense power, he didn't have to worry about the lack of incense when condensing the star position. There was a fundamental difference between condensing a large star position and condensing a small star position. As a result, the difficulty increased by a lot. When condensing a small star position, as long as a ball was condensed, everything would be considered a success. However, the large star position was different. Not only did it have to be condensed successfully, it also had to wrap the small star position within it. If the small star position was a solid ball, then the large star position was a hollow ball that wrapped the small star position. Although it was more troublesome to condense a large star position, Mo Qingyun spent a day and successfully condensed it. Since the large star position has been successfully condensed, next, it's time to see the power of the large star position. Seeing that the large star position had been successfully condensed, Mo Qingyun's expression showed that he couldn't wait to see the power of the large star position. As Mo Qingyun activated the star position, a mysterious power of space was added to Mo Qingyun's body. Teleportation gate. As the power of space was added to his body, Mo Qingyun used the teleportation gate to test the effect of the large star position. With the power of the large star position, Mo Qingyun didn't wait for the teleportation gate to form. With just a thought, his body was elsewhere. I've hit the jackpot. This illusory void star is so powerful. Discovering the power of the large star position, Mo Qingyun's expression immediately became joyful, and his mood instantly became extremely excited. Chapter 1576. Yongnan Immortal Realm. Above a mountain range, 3 young men came to a stop. One of them, with a bulky figure, took out a badge. The bulky young man frowned after checking the badge in his hand. He said in surprise, the shadow hunting seal is in Yongnan Immortal Realm? Did the kid return to Yongnan Immortal Realm? This tall young man bore an 80% resemblance to Yuan He, whom Mo Qingyun had killed. His name was Yuan Jiang, Yuan He's elder brother and Xian Zhao's 7th disciple. Junior brother Yuan Jiang, what's wrong? Did the shadow hunting seal react again? The other 2 young men asked curiously when they saw Yuan Jiang's surprised expression. Senior brother Guaman, senior brother Chao Zheng, the shadow hunting seal has indeed reacted. Yuan Jiang nodded with a serious expression. He said in confusion, judging from the reaction of the shadow hunting seal, it seems like the Mo Qingyun we're after has returned to Yongnan Immortal Realm. Yongnan Immortal Realm? The 2 young men were shocked. They could not believe that Mo Qingyun had the guts to return to Yongnan Immortal Realm. One had to know that the entire floating dragon ancient kingdom was their base camp. Mo Qingyun was walking right into their trap. That kid is pretty bold to sneak back to Yongnan Immortal Realm. I don't think he knows that the shadow hunting seal has been left on him. He's most likely going to the Yongnan Immortal Palace. We'll wait for him there. It'll only take 3 days to reach the Yongnan Immortal Palace from here. We'll wait for him there. Yuan Jiang and his companions discussed for a while. They decided not to waste any more time and headed straight to the Yongnan Immortal Palace. Mo Qingyun had no idea what Yuan Jiang and his companions were up to. Of course, he would not care even if he knew. Among the trio, Chao Zheng had the highest cultivation, but he was only in the immortal golden body realm. With the combat strength that Mo Qingyun currently possessed, if he encountered these 3 people, he would be able to completely crush them. Even if Mo Qingyun were to meet Xian Xiao now, he would not need to fear the other party, let alone Yuan Jiang and the other 2. Master, we've arrived at the Eternal South Immortal Domain. Gulanshan's soul message appeared in Mo Qingyun's mind, waking him from his cultivation. Inside the 5 directional towers, Mo Qingyun slowly opened his eyes and said with joy, have we arrived at the Eternal South Celestial Realm? It's faster than I expected. Whoosh! Mo Qingyun's figure flickered as he came out from the 5 Directions Pagoda, standing beside Gulanshan. Since I'm back, let's make a trip to the Heavenly Devil Talisman Stronghold. Mo Qingyun pondered for a moment. He told Gulanshan and decided to go to the Heavenly Devil Talisman Stronghold to take a look. Mo Qingyun had a special feeling toward the Heavenly Devil Talisman Stronghold. He was grateful and reminiscing about it. Without the Heavenly Devil Talisman Stronghold, the Heavenly Devil Talisman sect would not exist. If that was the case, he would not have been protected when he was in trouble on the Immortal Path. Mo Qingyun's help to the Heavenly Devil Talisman Stronghold could be considered as returning the favor to the Heavenly Devil Talisman sect for taking care of him on the Immortal Path. They would have to pass by the Heavenly Devil Talisman Stronghold on the way to the Eternal South Immortal Palace. Therefore, Mo Qingyun's trip to the Heavenly Devil Talisman Stronghold would not take up too much of his time. Mo Qingyun told Gulanshan the location of the Heavenly Devil Talisman Stronghold before returning to the 5 Directions Pagoda. He had just achieved a breakthrough in his cultivation, thus he still needed to stabilize it. Gulanshan did not dare to hesitate after hearing Mo Qingyun's instructions. He continued his journey on the lightning, cloudy crane. Around a day later, under Gulanshan's full-speed travel, he arrived above the Heavenly Devil Talisman Stronghold and sent a soul sound transmission to Mo Qingyun. After receiving Gulanshan's message, Mo Qingyun's figure flashed as he exited the 5 Directions Pagoda. After a day of cultivation, his cultivation had completely stabilized. Standing in front of the Heavenly Devil Talisman Stronghold, Mo Qingyun quickly formed a hand seal and opened the Heavenly Devil Talisman Strongholds formation. The Heavenly Devil Talisman Strongholds formation was set up by Mo Qingyun, so it was not difficult for him to enter. When Chong, Mo Qingyun saw a familiar figure as soon as he entered the Heavenly Devil Talisman Stronghold. It was Wen Chong who had brought him to the Heavenly Devil Talisman Stronghold. Wen Chong was stunned when he heard Mo Qingyun shout. He recognized Mo Qingyun's voice. Wen Chong immediately turned around and walked quickly to Mo Qingyun. He said excitedly, "Brother Mo, you're back. This is great. Is everything all right in the stronghold?" Standing in front of Wen Chong, Mo Qingyun realized that Wen Chong's aura was much stronger than before. At this rate, Wen Chong would be able to break through to the constellation realm in no time. "Everything is fine. It's just that the stronghold master and the others often talk about you." Wen Chong smiled faintly when he heard Mo Qingyun's question. He led the way for Mo Qingyun and said, "Since you're back, follow me to meet the people in the stronghold." "All right." Mo Qingyun nodded and followed Wen Chong to meet Yao Liyun and the others. Gulan Shan revealed a puzzled expression when he heard the conversation between Mo Qingyun and Wen Chong. He was extremely puzzled and said, "Master's relationship with these people from the immortal Tao seems to be very unusual. Could it be that Master cultivated and grew up here?" When this thought appeared in Gulan Shan's mind, he was extremely curious and wanted to understand the history of Mo Qingyun's growth. Of course, while Gulan Shan was curious, he was even more shocked. If Master cultivated and grew up here, then Master's cultivation talent is indeed incomparable to ordinary people. Soon, under Wen Chong's lead, Mo Qingyun walked into Yao Liyun's residence. There were a few elders of the Heavenly Devil Talisman Stronghold in Yao Liyun's residence. When everyone saw that Mo Qingyun had returned, they were all extremely excited and greeted Mo Qingyun enthusiastically. Mo Qingyun enjoyed everyone's warm greetings very much. He felt like he had returned home. "Stronghold Master, here are some cultivation resources. You can distribute them to everyone." After exchanging pleasantries with everyone, Mo Qingyun took out some cultivation resources and handed them to Yao Liyun. "Qingyun, it's really a great blessing for the Heavenly Devil Talisman Stronghold to have a disciple like you." Yao Liyun's eyes turned red when he saw the cultivation resources that Mo Qingyun handed over. He couldn't help but tear up. He knew very well that if it wasn't for Mo Qingyun's appearance, the Heavenly Devil Talisman Stronghold might not exist anymore. As he was in a hurry to return to the Eternal South Immortal Palace, Missouri Qingyun had a simple conversation with Yao Liyun and the others before he got up and left the Heavenly Devil Talisman Stronghold. Yao Liyun and the others were reluctant to part with Mo Qingyun's hurry to leave. They kept urging Mo Qingyun to stay. Chapter 1577. After leaving the Heavenly Devil Talisman Stronghold, Mo Qingyun was wondering if he should make a trip to the Chu clan and Ghost Moon clan. However, Chu Yun, Ghost Moon, and Xiao Xiao were determined not to return to the Chu clan and Ghost Moon clan. Regarding this, Mo Qingyun did not force them and allowed them to be happy. However, it was also true that the two girls did not have any relatives in the two clans, so there was no point in going. Not having to go to the Chu clan and Ghost Moon clan saved Mo Qingyun some trouble and did not need to take a detour. After leaving the Heavenly Devil Talisman Stronghold, Mo Qingyun let Gulan Shan continue on his journey while he returned to the Five Directions Pagoda to cultivate. "My cultivation base has already broken through to the major star realm. It's time to comprehend the four great legacies and improve my strength." Sitting cross-legged in the Five Directions Pagoda, Mo Qingyun made a simple plan for his future cultivation. During the battle with the Nine-Tailed Fox clan, he found that his various divine abilities could no longer adapt to various battles. "I haven't entered the 5th floor of the Five Directions Pagoda. I wonder if there are any powerful legacies?" As this thought appeared in Mo Qingyun's mind, he did not hesitate and immediately went to the 5th floor of the Five Directions Pagoda. As expected, The situation was as Mo Qingyun expected. He easily entered the 5th floor of the Five Directions Pagoda. What surprised Mo Qingyun was that there were no special treasures on the 5th floor of the Five Directions Pagoda. There was only a jade platform made of good material, and on top of the jade platform, there was a rather exquisite box. Seeing this, Mo Qingyun walked towards the jade platform and carefully opened the box. A key. Seeing what was inside the box, Mo Qingyun frowned slightly and curiously picked up the key. The material of this key was very strange. It was clearly different from the refining materials that Mo Qingyun had seen. The material of this key was like the bone of some demonic beast, but also like the horn of some demonic beast. In short, it was different from ordinary keys. It was either a refining material or a rarer. What a strange key. I wonder what secrets it holds. As Mo Qingyun fiddled with the key in his hand, he was immediately curious about its function. After a round of fruitless research, Mo Qingyun gave up and thought to himself, "It seems that I can only slowly research it in the future. Hopefully, it will bring me some surprises." Mo Qingyun muttered to himself and put away the key. Mo Qingyun continued to wander around the 5th floor of the Five Directions Small Pagoda. Seeing that there was still nothing to be gained, he left. Returning to the 2nd floor of the Five-Directional Tower, Mo Qingyun discarded all distracting thoughts in his mind and began to cultivate and improve his strength. Previously, I used the Yin-Yang Mother-Child Gourd to collect the souls of many experts. Now, I can refine them. Mo Qingyun took out the Yin-Yang Mother-Child Gourd, intending to refine the souls of the experts within to raise his soul cultivation. Now that Mo Qingyun's immortal Tao cultivation had reached the major star level, his soul cultivation was still at the minor star level. He had to raise it. Mo Qingyun opened the Yin-Yang Mother-Child Gourd and found that the souls of the experts that had been collected had all been converted into pure soul energy. I wonder what the origin of this Yin-Yang Mother-Child Gourd is. It actually has such a wonderful function. Seeing the function of the Yin-Yang Mother-Child Gourd, Mo Qingyun revealed a surprised smile and began to refine the soul energy within. As Mo Qingyun began to refine the soul energy, the nascent soul of creation in his sea of consciousness sat down cross-legged and assumed a cultivation posture. Then, waves of pure soul energy were absorbed by the nascent soul of creation. After absorbing the pure soul energy, the nascent soul of creation began to refine and absorb the soul energy. The nascent soul of creation knows how to cultivate by itself. Seeing the nascent soul of creation's actions in his sea of consciousness, Mo Qingyun revealed a surprised expression. He was very surprised by this situation. In the past, Mo Qingyun had to actively cultivate if he wanted to raise the level of his soul. Now, the nascent soul of creation could cultivate by itself. This way, Mo Qingyun could save a lot of trouble and didn't have to worry about soul cultivation. In this case, I just have to let the nascent soul of creation cultivate by itself to raise the level of my soul. After discovering the state of soul cultivation, Mo Qingyun was no longer worried and allowed it to cultivate by itself. Now that he no longer had to worry about the cultivation of his soul, Mo Qingyun withdrew his consciousness and planned to start cultivating in other areas. Since I don't have to worry about soul cultivation, I can also divert my attention to comprehending the four great legacies. Mo Qingyun pondered for a short while. He didn't want to waste any more time and immediately prepared to start comprehending the four great legacies. Now that the wind and thunder legacies have reached a bottleneck, it will be difficult to gain anything in a short period of time. Due to the limitations of soul cultivation, the soul legacies can't be cultivated to a deeper level. In this case, I can only cultivate the heavenly eye legacies. After some comparison, Mo Qingyun decided to comprehend the heavenly eye legacies first and continue to develop the potential of the heavenly soul demonic eyes. As for the formation legacies, Mo Qingyun didn't plan to study them for the time being. He planned to slowly comprehend them in the future. After all, Comprehending the formation legacies wasn't something that could be done overnight. He didn't have enough time to waste on comprehending the formation legacies. Time always passed very quickly when one was fully focused on cultivation. In the blink of an eye, 3 days had passed. After 3 days of hurrying by Gulan Shan, he finally arrived at the Eternal South Immortal Palace. Master, we have arrived at the Eternal South Immortal Palace. Standing in the sky above the Eternal South Immortal Palace, Gulan Shan transmitted a message to Mo Qingyun and reported that he had arrived at the destination. After hearing Gulan Shan's report, Mo Qingyun slowly closed his eyes and the light in his eyes gradually faded. The Heavenly Eye legacies are too powerful. With my current cultivation, it will be difficult for me to reach the initial success stage. Mo Qingyun sighed. He felt a little disappointed and helpless about the Heavenly Eye legacies. Based on the current situation, if I want to reach the initial success stage of the Heavenly Eye legacies, I will need to reach the constellation realm at the very least. After checking on the progress of the Heavenly Eye legacies, Mo Qingyun began to comprehend his soul cultivation to check on the progress of his soul cultivation. My soul cultivation has already reached the constellation realm. After discovering the progress of his soul cultivation, Mo Qingyun was pleasantly surprised. He didn't expect his soul cultivation to improve so quickly. He originally thought that even if the nascent soul of creation could cultivate on its own, it wouldn't be very fast. He didn't expect that the nascent soul of creation's cultivation speed would be faster than Mo Qingyun's. This was an unexpected gain. If this is the case, my soul cultivation might reach the constellation realm before the immortal Tao cultivation. After learning about the progress of his soul cultivation, Mo Qingyun smiled brightly. He was very satisfied with the progress of his soul cultivation. Chapter 1578. I'm finally back, looking at the Eternal South Immortal Palace in front of him. Mo Qingyun's heart was filled with emotions. This was his first foothold. If it weren't for the Eternal South Immortal Palace, which allowed him to gain a foothold in the wild continent, he wouldn't have been able to achieve what he had today. Mo Qingyun's feelings for the Eternal South Immortal Palace were the same as his feelings for the Sky Demon Talisman sect. Gulan Shan, you enter the 5-direction pagoda first. I'll sneak into the Eternal South Immortal Palace. After taking a look at the Eternal South Immortal Palace, Missouri Qingyun said to Gulan Shan and sent him into the 5-direction pagoda. Hidden door. After sending Gulan Shan into the 5-direction pagoda, Mo Qingyun used the hidden door to hide himself. Soon, Mo Qingyun came to the entrance of the Eternal South Immortal Palace and entered it in a flash. Now that he had condensed the illusory void star position, ordinary formations were useless in front of him. Unless it was a powerful spatial formation that contained the power of space Tao, it could counterbalance the power of his illusory void star position. After the Eternal South Immortal Palace was taken over by those people, the collapsed buildings and palaces had been rebuilt. The layout had not changed from before. The only change was that there were fewer disciples in the palace. Ji Qiong, Qian Guangsuan, you two idiots. Without Mo Qingyun's support, we'll beat you up every time we see you. Mo Qingyun walked for a while in the Eternal South Immortal Palace and heard an arrogant voice. Hearing the voice, Mo Qingyun frowned slightly and turned to look at the person. The person's cultivation was not high. He was only a small star position, but he was still stronger than Ji Qiong and Qian Guangsuan. In addition, there were several helpers behind this young man. Therefore, even though Ji Qiong and Qian Guangsuan were talented, they were still no match for them. Senior brother Ji, senior brother Qian. Seeing Ji Qiong and Qian Guangsuan's expressions, Mo Qingyun frowned slightly and could not help but sigh. It seems that senior brother Ji and senior brother Qian have suffered because of me. Soul prison. Since he saw Ji Qiong's group being oppressed, Mo Qingyun naturally wouldn't look on with folded arms. He immediately made a move against those people. Since he failed to rescue Shi Feng and the others, Mo Qingyun did not reveal himself when he came to help. Mo Qingyun didn't show any mercy. He directly used his overbearing soul strength to bombard those people's souls. Puff, puff, puff. After receiving Mo Qingyun's soul attack, those people immediately coughed up blood, their faces becoming incomparably pale. Then these people stood there motionless like statues. Seeing their abnormal behavior, Ji Qiong's expression changed. He was caught off guard by this scene. They were suddenly injured. Someone must have helped us in the dark. Who could it be? Seeing the abnormal behavior of the people in front of him, Ji Qiong had a solemn expression and guessed the identity of the person who helped. Qian Guangxuan was more unrestrained and didn't think as much as Ji Qiong. He laughed carelessly and said, "Why do you care so much? These guys have bullied us for so long. Now it's our turn to take revenge." As soon as Qian Guangxuan finished his words, he didn't hesitate to punch out and directly sent one of them flying. Seeing Qian Guangxuan's action, Ji Qiong smiled faintly and attacked together with Qian Guangxuan. The way they saw it, the most important thing right now was to take revenge for all the grievances they had against each other. After a while, after teaching these people a lesson, Qian Guangxuan and Ji Qiong left contentedly. Seeing Ji Qiong and Ji Qiong leave, Mo Qingyun didn't stay any longer and immediately went to find Shering Feng and the others. After a while, Mo Qingyun easily arrived at Shi Yingfeng's residence. Coincidentally, Shi Tongqing, Bai Kang, and Bai Jianying were all there. They were discussing something with Shering Feng. Ancestor Tongqing, 3 powerhouses came to the Immortal Palace yesterday. They seem to be here for Qingyun. For what they said, Qingyun seems to have returned to the Eternal South Celestial Realm and is preparing to return to the Eternal South Celestial Palace. Not only that, I heard from their conversation that Qingyun seemed to have offended Master Xian Shao. Master Xian Shao is a perfected golden celestial. How could Qingyun offend him? In any case, it's too dangerous for Qingyun to return to the Eternal South Celestial Realm. As Mo Qingyun gradually approached, he heard the conversation between Shi Tongqing and the others. Hearing the conversation between Shi Tongqing and the other 3, Mo Qingyun had a touched expression on his face, and his heart felt warm. It was obvious that Shi Tongqing and the others were very considerate of him when he went away alone. "Master, Palace Master." While Shering Feng and the others were talking, Mo Qingyun's soul sound transmission appeared in their minds. Hearing Mo Qingyun's soul sound transmission, Shi Tongqing and the others were shocked and excited. Seeing the other party's shocked expression, Shi Feng and the others immediately understood what the other party was thinking. Perhaps they were worried that someone was watching them. Shi Feng and the others quickly suppressed their excitement and slowly got up and walked to a secret chamber. In their opinion, if Mo Qingyun really came back, he would definitely follow them carefully. Seeing the actions of Shi Feng and the others, Mo Qingyun immediately understood their thoughts and followed them to the secret chamber. This secret chamber was isolated by a formation, so it was difficult for the outside world to know what happened inside. After entering the secret chamber, Mo Qingyun began to reveal himself and appeared in front of Shering Feng and the others. "Qingyun, you really came back. You silly boy, you finally escaped. How could you come back so easily? You don't know, do you? Now, even Master Xian Shao has sent people to capture you. Leave the Eternal South Immortal Palace before they find out." Looking at Mo Qingyun in front of them, Shering Feng and the others were nervous and worried about Mo Qingyun. Then, they tried to persuade Mo Qingyun to leave the Eternal South Immortal Palace immediately. Seeing the actions of Shering Feng and the others, Mo Qingyun was speechless. He smiled bitterly and said, "Master, Sect Master, don't panic. I came back to the Eternal South Immortal Palace to save you." "Save us?" Shi Yingfeng's expression froze. Mo Qingyun's words left him at a complete loss. Although Mo Qingyun's cultivation had improved rapidly and had reached a great star position, it was still not enough to save them. "Qingyun, your cultivation talent is amazing. As long as you keep calm and cultivate, you will achieve something in the future. We are all waiting for that day." Looking at Mo Qingyun in front of him, Shi Tongqing was touched and tried to persuade Mo Qingyun. However, before Shi Tongqing could finish his words, his eyes widened and his mouth dropped open. He could no longer say a word. A golden celestial of the great, all-embracing heaven. The person standing beside Mo Qingyun was a golden celestial of the great, all-embracing heaven. Seeing this sudden turn of events, Shi Yingfeng and the others were all dumbfounded. They were all dumbfounded on the spot. Chapter 1579. Senior, thank you for bringing Qingyun back. Seeing Gulan Shan beside Mo Qingyun, Shi Tongqing and the others showed their respect and gratitude to Gulan Shan. Gulan Shan was puzzled by the actions of Shi Tongqing and the others. He looked at Mo Qingyun in confusion. He couldn't understand why Mo Qingyun, a genius of the celestial race, was always with the celestial race. It seemed that Mo Qingyun was closer to Shi Tongqing and the others than to Yao Liyun and the others. It was really strange. These three are my masters. This is the palace master of the eternal south immortal palace. Seeing the confusion in Gulan Shan's eyes, Mo Qingyun gave a simple introduction of Shi Yingfeng's group and their relationship with him. Master? Palace master? Hearing Mo Qingyun's words, Gulan Shan was surprised and asked, Master, were you a disciple of the eternal south immortal palace and taught by the four of them? Gulan Shan was very confused. With Mo Qingyun's terrifying combat strength, why would he need the guidance of Shi Yingfeng and the others? You can say that. Mo Qingyun didn't hide Gulan Shan's guess and nodded. In his opinion, there was no point in hiding it since he had to let everyone know anyway. Master, hearing Gulan Shan's name for Mo Qingyun, Shi Yingfeng and the others were even more shocked and felt that their minds were not enough to process it. This was a Daluo golden immortal powerhouse. Mo Qingyun was only in the Great Star Realm. How could he be subdued by him? Could it be that Qingyun left the eternal south immortal palace and was taken in as a disciple by a super powerful powerhouse? At this moment, Shi Yingfeng and the others were thinking quickly, imagining all kinds of possibilities. In their opinion, Mo Qingyun could become the master of Gulan Shan because Mo Qingyun was taken in as a disciple by a super powerful powerhouse by chance. Gulan Shan was sent by that expert to protect Mo Qingyun. Gulan Shan shared the same feelings as Shi Yingfeng and the other three. He was also curious about Mo Qingyun's experience. Master, Palace Master, Gulan Shan is the patriarch of the sea-swallowing Marten clan. I met him by chance. Seeing that Shi Yingfeng and the others were curious about Gulan Shan's identity, Mo Qingyun gave them a simple introduction. He did not hide Gulan Shan's identity as a member of the divine race. Mo Qingyun felt that in order to avoid future trouble, it was better to tell everyone now so that they could be mentally prepared. God race. Hearing Mo Qingyun's words, Shi Yingfeng and the other three were shocked. They were shocked by Gulan Shan's identity. They did not think that the person who escorted Mo Qingyun back was actually a divine race powerhouse. Since ancient times, the immortals and the gods had been at loggerheads. Mo Qingyun had actually received the protection of the gods. This was too strange. Immediately after, Shi Yingfeng and the other three looked at Mo Qingyun with a slightly different expression. Their gazes also became complicated. Master, Palace Master, don't tell me that you won't recognize me as your disciple just because I met Gulan Shan? Looking at the complicated expressions on Shi Yingfeng and the others' faces, Mo Qingyun smiled faintly and teased them. Hearing Mo Qingyun's words, Shi Yingfeng and the others fell silent. Shi Tongqing sighed and said, Qingyun, it's a good thing that you can have such an encounter. It's just that from now on, your path will become very difficult. In Shi Tongqing's opinion, Mo Qingyun was between the immortals and the gods. He would definitely end up in a bad situation. If he was not careful, he would be hunted down by both the immortals and the gods. Master, I understand what you mean. In response to Shi Yingfeng's concerns, Mo Qingyun smiled nonchalantly and said, but I don't think that the immortals and the gods can't coexist. Maybe one day, The immortals and the gods can coexist peacefully. The immortals and the gods can coexist peacefully? Knowing Mo Qingyun's true thoughts, not only were Shi Feng and the others shocked, even Gu Lanshan was surprised. Could it be that Mo Qingyun wanted to build a world where the immortals and the gods could coexist peacefully? This idea was simply too whimsical. Mo Qingyun didn't explain too much about his true thoughts. He changed the topic and said, "Master, the person who planted the soul brand on you is now in the Eternal South Immortal Palace. I will go and find him now to remove the soul brand." Pan Ping lives in Kang's courtyard. Knowing that Gu Lanshan would accompany them, Shi Feng and the others were no longer worried and agreed with Mo Qingyun's decision. Hidden door. As soon as Mo Qingyun left the secret chamber, he used the hidden door to hide himself. After hiding himself, Mo Qingyun did not hesitate and immediately went to Bai Kang's courtyard. Mo Qingyun was no stranger to Bai Kang's courtyard. He found it in a short while. "Don't worry, my lords. Mo Qingyun's master is in our hands. He will definitely come back." To avoid alerting the enemy, we did not imprison Shi Feng and the others to prevent Mo Qingyun from coming back. Not only that, we did not set up an inescapable net outside Shi Feng and the others' residence. As long as Mo Qingyun dares to come back, we will know immediately and catch him like a turtle in a jar. When Mo Qingyun arrived outside by Kang's house, he heard the conversation of the people in the house without missing a word. Hearing everyone's conversation, Mo Qingyun's brows furrowed slightly, and he quietly entered the room. Yuan He?" Mo Qingyun entered the room and saw Yuan Jiang. He was surprised and said, "It's not Yuan He. He just looks like Yuan He." Moving his gaze away from Yuan He, Mo Qingyun looked at the others in the room, looking for the Pan Ping that Shi Feng mentioned. Mo Qingyun looked around and found his target. Although Mo Qingyun saw Pan Ping, he did not rush to take action. He continued to hide in the dark, waiting for an opportunity. Now that there were so many people here, if he acted rashly, Pan Ping might run away. More importantly, if Pan Ping chose to destroy himself and detonate Shi Feng and the other soul seals, it would be troublesome. Therefore, to be safe, it would not be too late for Mo Qingyun to take action after Yuan Jiang and the others had left. Time passed by slowly. After a few hours, Yuan Jiang and the others slowly left. Here's my chance. After Yuan Jiang and the others left, Pan Ping returned to the room. Mo Qingyun's eyes flashed with a fierce light. Then, Gu Lanshan was summoned by Mo Qingyun and captured Pan Ping at lightning speed. "Say, Senior, let's talk nicely." Since Pan Ping did not know Gu Lanshan, he did not think of Mo Qingyun when he saw Gu Lanshan. Demonic, soul-stealing eyes. Just as Pan Ping was panicking, Mo Qingyun used his natural mystique. A cold light flashed in his left eye. Then, the cold light blasted into Pan Ping's mind and forcefully pulled his soul out of his body. Destroy. After pulling Pan Ping's soul out of his body, Mo Qingyun did not hesitate to release a soul attack and forcefully wiped out Pan Ping's consciousness. Take him away first. After wiping out Pan Ping's consciousness, Mo Qingyun instructed Gu Lanshan and sent Gu Lanshan into the 5-directional pagoda. Chapter 1580. After a short while, Mo Qingyun returned to the secret chamber he had been in earlier with ease. As soon as Mo Qingyun entered the secret chamber, he removed his concealment and gradually revealed himself. "Qingyun, how's the situation? Did you find Pan Ping?" "It doesn't matter if you can't find Pan Ping. We don't need a rush." "That's right. We can take it slow and look for opportunities in the future." Seeing Mo Qingyun return to the secret chamber, Shi Feng and the other 3 looked nervous and asked about Mo Qingyun's situation. "Everything went very well. I've captured Pan Ping." Under the nervous gazes of Shi Feng and the other 3, Mo Qingyun took Pan Ping out of the 5-directional small pagoda and threw him in front of the 4. Seeing Pan Ping thrown in front of them, Shi Feng and the other 3 were shocked and excited. Since Pan Ping was captured, the soul imprints in their sea of consciousness were no longer a problem. Hey, why is Pan Ping's consciousness not clear? If his consciousness is not clear, does that mean he can't remove the soul imprint? How can this be? Wasn't Pan Ping fine a few days ago? Seeing that Pan Ping was a little strange, Shering Feng and the other three looked serious and couldn't help but worry. In their view, if Pan Ping's consciousness was not clear, his soul imprint would be unsolvable. Forget it. Pan Ping's consciousness is not clear. At least he won't detonate our soul imprint. After a short moment of anxiety, Shi Tongqing sighed, and his expression became much more relaxed. No matter what, their lives were not in danger. This was a good situation. That's true. Shering Feng and the other two nodded in agreement. Master, Palace Lord, you don't have to worry. I have my own ways to deal with this. Seeing the reactions of Shering Feng and the other three, Mo Qingyun smiled faintly and comforted them. Demonic, soul-stealing eyes. As soon as Mo Qingyun finished speaking, he used his innate mystique to pull out Pan Ping's soul. Although Mo Qingyun had wiped out Pan Ping's consciousness, he did not disperse Pan Ping's soul. Pan Ping's soul was still intact. Bloodline of the god race. Qingyun is also a god race. Could it be that the people from the Eastern Dawn Immortal Palace didn't wrongly accuse Qingyun? Since Qingyun is a member of the god race, how did he hide his bloodline in the Eastern Dawn Immortal Palace? No wonder Senior Gu would escort Qingyun back. So his true identity is from the god race. That's strange. Didn't Qingyun come from an affiliated continent? How could he be a god? Sensing the power of Mo Qingyun's bloodline, Shering Feng and the other three were shocked and puzzled. However, although they were puzzled, they did not disturb Mo Qingyun. At the same time, they did not feel hostile towards Mo Qingyun because of this. They knew that although Mo Qingyun was a god, his feelings for them were genuine. Mo Qingyun now exposes identity as a god mainly to save them. Thinking of this, Shering Feng and the others looked at Mo Qingyun with eyes full of gratitude and relief. Release. Mo Qingyun used the demonic eye soul stealing to control Pan Ping's soul. He then released the power of the imprint. My soul imprint has been removed. Qingyun really did it. After Mo Qingyun removed a soul imprint, Bai Jianying revealed a pleasantly surprised smile and said excitedly, "This showed that the soul imprint that Mo Qingyun released just now was used to control Bai Jianying." Seeing Bai Jianying's performance, Shi Tongqing and the other two immediately looked expectant. They waited for Mo Qingyun to release their soul imprints. Then, the soul imprints of Shering Feng and the other two were also removed by Mo Qingyun. After removing the soul imprints of Shering Feng and the other three, Mo Qingyun did not remove the soul imprints of the others to avoid alerting the enemy. Since the soul imprints have been removed, it is time for us to take revenge. After removing the soul imprints of Shering Feng and the others, Mo Qingyun did not want to waste any more time and immediately said his idea. All right, hearing Mo Qingyun's idea, Shering Feng and the other three nodded in agreement and prepared to take revenge. Then, Mo Qingyun and the others walked out of the secret room and prepared to deal with Chao Zheng and the others. To prevent them from attacking the disciples of the Immortal Palace when we deal with Chao Zheng and the others, let's save the disciples of the Immortal Palace first. Walking out of the secret room, Mo Qingyun told Shering Feng and the other three that he decided to deal with the people who controlled the disciples first. Hearing Mo Qingyun's idea, Shering Feng and the other three agreed. They felt that Mo Qingyun's idea was right. If they forced the other side into a corner, they would have a life-and-death struggle and detonate the soul imprints in the disciples' sea of consciousness. In that case, the disciples of the Eternal South Immortal Palace would barely survive. Shering Feng and the others knew very well who the people who controlled the disciples of the Immortal Palace were. Then, with Shering Feng and the other three leading the way, Mo Qingyun easily captured these people. After dealing with them together, Mo Qingyun and the other three went to the conference hall of the Eternal South Immortal Palace together with Shering Feng and the other three. If there was no accident, Chao Zheng and the others should be there. Coming to the conference hall, Mo Qingyun saw Chao Zheng and the others talking and laughing about something. Shering Feng, what are you doing here? Did you forget the order? Hey, Mo Qingyun, he is here too. Did Shering Feng and the others catch him? What? Mo Qingyun is here too. Is it that guy? Sure, Tongqing, you did a good job. You took the initiative to catch Mo Qingyun. Everyone in the hall had different reactions when they saw Mo Qingyun and the others arrive, and they all spoke words of surprise. They didn't expect that Mo Qingyun would come to the conference hall with Shi Tongqing and the other three. Mo Qingyun, you don't know, do you? Your master is already under our control. Looking at Mo Qingyun in the center of the conference hall, Yuan Jiang sneered proudly and said, "We didn't expect that you would be caught by them when you rushed back to see them." In Yuan Jiang's view, Shering Feng and the other three brought Mo Qingyun here to take credit for capturing Mo Qingyun. Kid, if you had stayed in the immortal camp, we would have caught you easily. I didn't expect you to walk right into our trap. Chao Zheng sneered. I think you got it wrong. Seeing Yuan Jiang and Chao Zheng's expressions, Mo Qingyun shook his head with a faint smile and said, I didn't come back to die. I came back to get rid of you. Get rid of us? Guoman's expression froze for a moment before he revealed an arrogant smile. He said disdainfully, Mo Qingyun, even if Shi Yingfeng and the other three had become our puppets, they still wouldn't be able to protect you today. Ha, is that so? What if they join us? Mo Qingyun's expression didn't change. He still had a playful smile on his face and summoned Gulan Shan and the others. Chapter 1581. The aura of a golden celestial of the great all-embracing heaven. Dozens of golden celestial of the great all-embracing heaven. How? How is this possible? Where did Mo Qingyun find these experts? Since when did golden celestial of the great all-embracing heaven become so worthless? Illusion? This must be an illusion. It must be Mo Qingyun's trick. Looking at Gulan Shan and the others beside Mo Qingyun, Chao Zheng and the others were all trembling with fear. They looked like they had lost their minds. They could not accept that a greater star realm expert could summon so many golden celestial of the great all-embracing heaven. Dozens of golden celestial of the great all-embracing heaven. Is this the real combat force that Qingyun controls? Looking at Gulan Shan and the others beside him, Shering Feng and the others were also dumbfounded. They felt that their brains were not enough to process this. It turned out that the combat force that Mo Qingyun controlled was not just Gulan Shan alone, but dozens of experts like Gulan Shan. Shering Feng and the others did not know what kind of strength this was. Perhaps the entire floating dragon ancient kingdom might not have so many golden celestial of the great all-embracing heaven. Only the Fenglai dynasty could do this. Mo Qingyun, although we are surprised that you can summon so many experts, don't be too complacent. After a short moment of panic, Yuan Jiang smiled coldly and glanced at Shering Feng and the others. He said, We have planted soul imprints in their sea of consciousness. If you dare to act rashly, we will detonate their soul imprints and let them die with us. Oh, is that so? Then why don't you detonate them and let me have a look? Now that the soul imprints of Shering Feng and the others had been removed by Mo Qingyun, he was not afraid of Yuan Jiang's threats. Seeing that Mo Qingyun was not afraid at all, Yuan Jiang could not help but twitch his face, revealing a guilty look. Firstly, Pan Ping wasn't here. Secondly, he didn't have the ability to detonate the soul imprints of Shering Feng and the other three. As such, he was left speechless by Mo Qingyun's provocation. Are you looking for him? Seeing that Yuan Jiang didn't say anything, Mo Qingyun curled his lips. With a mocking expression, he threw Pan Ping out. Pan Ping. Seeing Pan Ping in front of Mo Qingyun, Yuan Jiang and the others were shocked. Their eyes widened as they exclaimed. They never thought that Pan Ping would be captured by Mo Qingyun. It seemed that the soul imprints of Shering Feng and the others had been successfully removed. No wonder Mo Qingyun was so fearless in the face of his threats. It turned out that he was already prepared. Mo Qingyun, we admit defeat this time. What will it take for you to let us go? Just state your conditions. Knowing his situation, Yuan Jiang was straightforward. He directly started to state his conditions with Mo Qingyun. You can't afford to give me my conditions. Seeing that Yuan Jiang wanted to negotiate with him, Mo Qingyun smiled disdainfully. He nodded to Gulan Shan and the others and ordered, "Don't waste any more time. Send them on their way." Receiving Mo Qingyun's order, Gulan Shan and the others did not hesitate. They immediately attacked Yuan Jiang and the others. After ordering Gulan Shan and the others to attack, Mo Qingyun raised his hand and pointed at Yuan Jiang. He said to Gulan Shan and the others, "Keep him alive for now. I still have a use for him later." Mo Qingyun thought to himself, with their current strength, they could easily deal with Xian Xiao. Since that was the case, he did not need to hide anymore. He could face Xian Xiao head-on. Yuan Jiang was Xian Xiao's disciple. He should know where Xian Xiao was. Mo Qingyun could get information about Xian Xiao's whereabouts from him. With Gulan Shan and the others' strength, Yuan Jiang and the others were no match for them. They were all taken down in the blink of an eye. If Mo Qingyun had not told them in advance, Yuan Jiang would have been killed by Gulan Shan and the others. Kid, what are you doing?" Yuan Jiang was captured in front of Mo Qingyun. His face was filled with fear as he questioned Mo Qingyun in a flustered tone. Demonic eyes steal soul. Mo Qingyun chose to ignore Yuan Jiang's question and use demonic eyes steal soul on him. Mo Qingyun used demonic eyes steal soul on Yuan Jiang. The information in Yuan Jiang's mind was immediately taken away by him. The East Dawn Immortal Palace. So Xian Xiao is hiding in the East Dawn Immortal Palace. After taking away the information in Yuan Jiang's mind, Mo Qingyun knew where Xian Xiao was hiding. The East Dawn Immortal Palace is not too far from here. With a lightning cloud crane speed, it will take about 2 days to get there. That should be enough time to deal with Xian Xiao. Master, I plan to make a trip to the East Dawn Immortal Palace to get rid of Xian Xiao. Mo Qingyun made up his mind. He did not want to delay any longer and decided to make a trip to the Eastern Dawn Immortal Palace. Be careful. Shering Feng and the others did not stop Mo Qingyun when they heard his plan. They only gave him some advice out of concern. In their opinion, with Mo Qingyun's current strength, as long as he was careful, the floating dragon ancient kingdom would be safe. Master, the moment I kill Xian Xiao, the floating dragon ancient kingdom will fall into chaos and the eternal South Immortal Palace will no longer be safe. Thinking of the possible repercussions after he killed Xian Xiao, Mo Qingyun instructed Shering Feng, "Gather the disciples of the Immortal Palace and bring them to a place called the Heavenly Devil Talisman Stronghold. Wait for me there." Heavenly Devil Talisman Stronghold? Hearing Mo Qingyun's instructions, Shering Feng and the others pondered for a moment before accepting Mo Qingyun's suggestion. They said, "All right, we'll give the order now for the disciples to gather quickly." While Shering Feng was gathering the disciples, Mo Qingyun began to dissolve the soul imprints of the Eternal South Immortal Palace's disciples. It took Mo Qingyun several hours to dissolve the soul imprints in the disciples' bodies. After doing all this, Mo Qingyun did not waste any more time and immediately set off for the East Dawn Immortal Palace. While Mo Qingyun was on his way to the East Dawn Immortal Palace, Shering Feng and the others also set off for the Heavenly Devil Talisman Stronghold with the disciples. To prevent Shering Feng and the others from encountering any danger along the way, Mo Qingyun sent 5 perfected golden immortals to escort them to the Heavenly Devil Talisman Stronghold. With 5 perfected golden immortals escorting them, Mo Qingyun did not have to worry about Shering Feng and the others. In the floating dragon ancient kingdom, there was probably no one who could deal with 5 perfected golden immortals. On the way to the East Dawn Immortal Palace, Missouri Qingyun instructed Gulan Shan to continue the journey while he entered the 5-directional pagoda to cultivate. Mo Qingyun entered the 5-directional pagoda, and silently observed the cultivation progress of Mo Zai and the others. The person with the fastest cultivation speed was still Mo Zai, who had the devouring innate skill. She was already in the constellation realm. He Xian and the others were not slow either. They had all reached the major constellation realm and were in the process of stabilizing their major constellation realm. Chapter 1582. This time, Mo Qingyun continued to cultivate the heavenly eye inheritance and continued to develop the potential of the heavenly soul, demonic eyes. As for the nascent soul of creation in his sea of consciousness, it was still refining soul energy and improving Mo Qingyun's soul realm. While Mo Qingyun was cultivating in silence, Gulanshan rode on the lightning cloud crane and rushed to the East Dawn Immortal Palace. With Gulanshan's powerful strength, no one would offend him on the way to the East Dawn Immortal Palace. Along the way, everything was smooth sailing. They didn't encounter any trouble. In the blink of an eye, 2 days had passed. Under Gulanshan's full speed, he arrived in the sky above the East Dawn Immortal Palace. "Master, we have arrived at the East Dawn Immortal Palace." Standing in the sky above the East Dawn Immortal Palace, Gulanshan reported to Mo Qingyun. After receiving Gulanshan's soul message, Mo Qingyun did not hesitate and immediately came to Gulanshan's side. "Master, what do we do now? Do we charge indirectly?" Seeing Mo Qingyun come to his side, Gulanshan revealed an inquiring expression, asking for Mo Qingyun's opinion. Mo Qingyun shook his head and said in a deep voice, "No need to go through so much trouble. We can just stand here and wait." "Xin Xiao, get out here." Standing in the sky above the East Dawn Immortal Palace, Missouri Qingyun wore a solemn expression and shouted angrily at the East Dawn Immortal Palace. Soon, Mo Qingyun's angry shout spread throughout the entire East Dawn Immortal Palace. "Who is so bold to insult Master Xin Xiao like this? This person must be tired of living to do such a reckless thing. Who cares? It's not up to us to decide. The protectors will take care of it." Hearing Mo Qingyun's words, the disciples of the East Dawn Immortal Palace looked up at the sky in surprise. While they were talking, several figures flashed across the sky and quickly arrived in front of Mo Qingyun. After a while, several figures with powerful auras surrounded Mo Qingyun and Gulanshan. "How dare you insult Sir God Xin Xiao? I think you are tired of living." Why does this guy look familiar? I seem to have seen him somewhere before." It's him. He is Mo Qingyun. He dares to provoke Sir Xin Xiao. This guy is tired of living. Some of the elders from the Eastern Dawn Immortal Palace recognized Mo Qingyun as they surrounded him. However, what they really cared about now was Gulanshan, who was standing beside Mo Qingyun, a golden celestial of the great, all-embracing heaven. Looking at Gulanshan, who was beside Mo Qingyun, Xing Zhuang's expression became tense. He showed a hint of fear and said to himself, "It turns out that Mo Qingyun has found such a helper. No wonder he dares to come here." Out of fear of Gulanshan's powerful strength, Xian Zhao's disciples did not dare to make a move. They looked at each other in dismay. "Senior brother Xing Zhuang, what should we do now?" A quasi-almighty celestial expert looked at Xing Zhuang with a nervous expression and a gloomy expression. Hearing the question, Xing Zhuang looked at Gulanshan indifferently and said in a deep voice, "My friend, I know that it is not easy for you to cultivate. Don't hurt yourself because of this guy. Boy, I know that you have just broken through to the golden celestial of the great, all-embracing heaven. Let me remind you out of kindness. If you know what's good for you, come over and kowtow and beg for mercy." With Gulanshan's identity, he naturally would not be frightened by Xing Zhuang. He retorted with disdain. Gulanshan reminded Xing Zhuang not because he was afraid of Xing Zhuang, but because he wanted to gather people for Mo Qingyun. Anyway, it was a good thing to recruit a golden celestial of the great, all-embracing heaven. Hearing Gu Lanshan's words, Xing Zhuang's face became even more ghastly. He said coldly with displeasure, "It seems that you are determined to get involved in this mess and fight with Sir God Xian Shao to the end. Gu Lanshan, don't talk nonsense with them. Just get rid of them." Seeing Xing Zhuang's domineering attitude, Mo Qingyun gave an order to Gu Lanshan directly. It was rare for him to say much to him. Yes. Hearing Mo Qingyun's order, Gu Lanshan did not hesitate and immediately attacked Xing Zhuang and the others. Seeing Gu Lanshan attacking, Xing Zhuang's face was as gloomy as ink. He quickly reminded the people around him, "I will hold him back. You guys take down Mo Qingyun." After Xing Zhuang finished his words, he went to Gu Lanshan and wanted to hold him back for a while. Okay. Hearing Xing Zhuang's order, the others quickly nodded and rushed toward Mo Qingyun. Mo Qingyun, you killed so many disciples of the East Dawn Fairy Palace. Today, I will avenge them. Kid, don't think that you can be arrogant just because you have a golden celestial of the great all-embracing heaven protecting you. Kid, that golden celestial of the great all-embracing heaven is being held back by senior brother Xing Zhuang. You'd better wait for your death. Humph. This kid must be regretting coming to the East Dawn Fairy Palace to act tough. Seeing that Xing Zhuang was holding back Gu Lanshan, the rest of the people sneered and felt complacent. In their opinion, with Mo Qingyun's Great Star Realm, he would definitely be killed by so many of them. I'm sorry. I'm afraid I have to disappoint you. Looking at the people who were charging toward him, Mo Qingyun had a mocking expression and a faint smile at the corner of his mouth. Then, a few huge figures appeared beside Mo Qingyun, exuding a terrifying aura. When the aura was released, the people who were charging toward Mo Qingyun were so scared that their faces twitched. Golden celestial of the great, all-embracing heaven. Now, the ones who appeared beside Mo Qingyun were 5 golden celestial of the great, all-embracing heaven ghosts. Run, run. These are golden celestial of the great, all-embracing heaven ghosts. Seeing that the situation was not right, the people were so scared that their faces turned pale and cold sweat broke out on their backs. What a joke! With their cultivation in the golden celestial stage, they were no match for the golden celestial of the great, all-embracing heaven ghosts. Moreover, the number of golden celestial of the great, all-embracing heaven ghosts beside Mo Qingyun had reached a terrifying number of 5. Even if Xian Shao came personally, he would not dare to fight against Mo Qingyun, let alone these people. Kill! Looking at the people who turned around to escape, Mo Qingyun gave the order to the ghosts beside him with a cold expression. Then, the ghost figures flashed and chased after those people. 5 golden celestial of the great, all-embracing heaven ghosts. Seeing the ghosts that were charging toward them, Xing Zhuang was so scared that his body trembled and his face turned ashen. Facing such a huge lineup, not only would those people die, even he would not be able to survive. I have to send a message to Master immediately. Otherwise, we will all die here today. Chapter 1583. Mo Qingyun is here, and he's accompanied by a perfected golden immortal. In a secret chamber in the East Dawn Immortal Palace, Xian Shao slowly opened his eyes with a surprised expression. Xing Zhuang's voice transmission really surprised him. A kid who was like an ant in his eyes dared to bring people to seek revenge. This really surprised him. Mo Qingyun, you've really surprised me. If that's the case, I'll play with you. Xian Zhao's figure moved and left the secret chamber to help Xing Zhuang and the others. Whoosh! A figure flashed, and Xian Shao came to a place not far from Xing Zhuang. He looked around at the battle in front of him. When Xian Shao saw Gu Lanshan, who was fighting with Xing Zhuang and the 5 perfected golden immortal ghosts beside Mo Qingyun, his expression immediately twitched. Just now, Xing Zhuang sent him a voice transmission and asked him to come and deal with Mo Qingyun. He did not tell him in detail that Mo Qingyun was protected by 5 perfected golden immortal ghosts. At this moment, Xian Shao could not help but have an illusion that he was deceived by Xing Zhuang. In fact, when Xing Zhuang sent him a voice transmission, just now, he did deliberately hide Mo Qingyun's combat strength. There was no other way. If Xing Zhuang told Xian Xiao the truth that Mo Qingyun had 5 perfected golden immortal ghosts by his side, he would not be able to escape. He was sure that Xian Zhao's first reaction would be to run for his life instead of coming to rescue them. Xing Zhuang, thinking that he was fooled by Xing Zhuang, Xian Zhao's face immediately turned ugly and his eyes were filled with flames of anger. However, Xian Xiao also knew very well that now was not the time to be angry. Xing Zhuang, what about Yang Ji and the others? When Xian Xiao found that no one else was around, his face darkened and he asked Xing Zhuang angrily. Hearing Xian Zhao's words, Xing Zhuang showed a look of lingering fear and said in horror, Yang Ji, they're all dead. They're all dead. Xian Zhao's face paled. He immediately felt a wave of grief and anger that soared into the sky. He had painstakingly nurtured these disciples, and he had spent a lot of effort on them. Now, they had all been killed by Mo Qingyun. This kind of feeling was really too unbearable. Brat, I'm going to tear you to shreds. Xian Xiao roared angrily. He charged towards Mo Qingyun, bursting with a powerful aura. Seeing Xian Xiao rushing towards him, Mo Qingyun immediately rode on the lightning cloudy crane and quickly retreated. When Mo Qingyun retreated to the rear, he also ordered the 2 perfected golden immortal ghosts to intercept Xian Xiao. Being intercepted by 2 perfected golden immortal ghosts, even with Xian Zhao's powerful strength, it was difficult for him to break through the encirclement. When Mo Qingyun retreated, he did not forget to remind Gu Lanshan to retreat to the rear as well. Seeing Gu Lanshan and Mo Qingyun suddenly retreating, Xing Zhuang was immediately puzzled and could not help but be confused by this scene. Logically speaking, now that Mo Qingyun and the others had the upper hand, they should be chasing after the victory. Although he was puzzled, Xing Zhuang still went to help Xian Xiao and shared the burden of a perfected golden immortal ghost for him. Brat, it's not that easy to escape. Seeing Mo Qingyun retreating quickly, Xian Zhao's expression was gloomy, and his body exuded a powerful killing intent. When Xing Zhuang shared the burden of a perfected golden immortal ghost, his face immediately turned pale, and he was so frightened that he spoke incoherently. It's going to explode. The perfected golden immortal ghost is going to explode. This discovery could be said to have frightened Xing Zhuang, and it made him feel a trace of despair. Although his cultivation base was at the perfected golden immortal stage, he had not just broken through. How could he withstand the self-explosion of a perfected golden immortal ghost? More importantly, it was not one perfected golden immortal ghost that was going to explode, but 2 perfected golden immortal ghosts. Quick, retreat. We've been fooled. This damn brat actually used such a method to deal with us. Seeing that the perfected golden immortal ghost was about to explode, Xian Xiao was so frightened that his face twitched, and he quickly reminded Xing Zhuang. As soon as Xian Zhao's words fell, he no longer hesitated and immediately turned around to run for his life. Bang, bang. Before Xian Xiao and the other man could flee, 2 enormous bangs resounded in midair, and they formed a storm of spirit energy that could destroy the world. When this terrifying spiritual energy storm was formed, it engulfed Xian Xiao and Xing Zhuang, causing a terrifying impact and erosion on them. Mo Qingyun, you sinister and treacherous brat, I must turn you into ashes. Being attacked by the terrifying spiritual energy storm, Xian Xiao gnashed his teeth and shouted angrily. His voice instantly resounded through the heavens and earth. Seeing the fate of Xian Xiao and Xing Zhuang, Gu Lanshan could not help but tremble, and a lingering fear arose in him. He was sure that if he was hit by this spiritual energy storm, even if he did not die, he would be skinned alive. I'm afraid you won't have the chance. Hearing Xian Zhao's angry words, Mo Qingyun smiled faintly, and his eyes revealed a playful look. Since he had attacked Xian Xiao, how could he let Xian Xiao escape? After a short while, when the spiritual energy storm in midair dissipated, 2 miserable figures appeared. Now, Xian Xiao and Xing Zhuang were no longer as imposing as before, and they looked weak. This was especially true for Xing Zhuang, who looked the most miserable and miserable. There were many holes in his chest. If it was not for his strong cultivation, his body would have fallen apart from such injuries. Kill. Seeing the miserable state of Xian Xiao and Xing Zhuang, Mo Qingyun did not feel soft-hearted, and he ordered Gu Lanshan coldly. Then Gu Lanshan and the three great all-embracing golden immortal ghosts, together with Mo Qingyun, charged towards Xian Xiao and Xing Zhuang. Seeing Mo Qingyun and the others charging towards them, Xian Xiao and Xing Zhuang's expressions trembled, and they did not dare to continue fighting with Mo Qingyun. Run! Xian Xiao and Xing Zhuang were very straightforward. They exchanged a look and tacitly turned around to escape. Seeing Xian Xiao and Xing Zhuang's actions, Mo Qingyun's lips curled up slightly, and he said with a mocking expression, Xian Xiao, you can't escape. Surrender obediently. As soon as Mo Qingyun's words fell, his figure flashed, and he disappeared from the spot. Then, when Mo Qingyun's figure appeared, he was already in front of Xian Xiao and Xing Zhuang. Mo Qingyun came in front of Xian Xiao and Xing Zhuang, and he summoned another 5 great all-embracing golden immortal ghosts. Another 5 great all-embracing golden immortal ghosts? Seeing the sudden appearance of the 5 great all-embracing golden immortal ghosts, Xian Xiao and Xing Zhuang were so frightened that their pupils shrank and their faces turned as pale as paper. In their current state, they were no match for 9 great all-embracing golden immortal experts. Were they really going to die today? No. I, Xian Xiao, have cultivated for more than 100,000 years. How can I die in the hands of a kid in the greater star realm? When Xian Xiao thought about how he was going to be killed by Mo Qingyun, a crazed expression appeared on his face as he uttered words of unwillingness. As soon as Xian Zhao's words fell, his face turned gloomy, and a trace of pity appeared in his eyes. He turned to look at Xing Zhuang and said, Good disciple, Master has guided you in your cultivation until now. It's time for you to repay Master. As soon as Xian Zhao's words fell, he formed a strange hand seal and raised his hand to grab Xing Zhuang's head. Then, a powerful bloodline power was forcibly extracted by Xian Xiao. Chapter 1584. Master you. Xing Zhuang could not believe that Xian Xiao was willing to sacrifice him for his own survival. Although Xing Zhuang was unwilling, his eyes gradually dimmed. A golden immortal of the great all-embracing heaven had died, just like that. You even killed your own disciple. Xian Xiao, you are indeed ruthless. Seeing Xian Xiao kill Xing Zhuang, Mo Qingyun showed a look of disdain. His killing intent towards Xian Xiao grew stronger. From this, it could be seen that Xian Xiao was someone who would do anything to achieve his goals. He could not let such a person go. Otherwise, once he recovered, he would be as terrifying as a poisonous snake. When I kill you in the future, Xing Zhuang's death will not be in vain. Xian Xiao showed a ferocious expression in response to Mo Qingyun's words. He quickly refined Xing Zhuang's essence blood. After refining Xing Zhuang's essence blood, Xian Zhao's injuries were healed. He quickly turned around and fled. Chase. Seeing Xian Xiao turn around and flee, Mo Qingyun told Gu Lanshan and immediately chased after Xian Xiao. While chasing after Xian Xiao, Mo Qingyun was surprised and thought, I didn't expect Xing Zhuang's essence blood to be able to heal injuries. This is too surprising. Master, if I'm not wrong, Xing Zhuang should be from the Life Clan, ranked 46th on the 10,000 Archean Tribes board. Hearing Mo Qingyun's doubtful words, Gu Lanshan explained to Mo Qingyun and said, It is said that after refining the essence blood of the Life Clan's people, no matter how serious your injuries are, you can recover in a short time. I didn't expect this rumor to be true. There is actually such a race? Mo Qingyun was startled. He was astonished by Gu Lanshan's words. If the blood of the Life Clan has such a magical effect, wouldn't they be in danger? Wouldn't they be coveted by the other clans? After hearing Mo Qingyun's guess, Gulanshan smiled awkwardly and said, "To be honest, Master, the Life Tribe actually disappeared from the desolate continent 1,000,000 years ago. I didn't expect one to appear now." "It disappeared 1,000,000 years ago?" Mo Qingyun looked shocked again. He thought to himself, it seems that Xing Zhuang's life race bloodline was also obtained through blood exchange. After that, Mo Qingyun and Lu Zilong chased and chatted, following closely behind Xian Xiao. "That damn brat, he's still haunting me like a ghost." Realizing that he couldn't shake off Mo Qingyun, Xian Xiao's expression became more and more unsightly. He gnashed his teeth in anger and said, "Brat, don't be so smug. When I reach the capital of the floating dragon ancient kingdom, I'll deal with you." He was a Daluo golden immortal, but he was being chased by someone from a major star position. This was too humiliating. Portal Gate. After closing the distance between him and Xian Xiao, Mo Qingyun cast a teleportation gate and seized the opportunity to block Xian Xiao's path. Mo Qingyun's figure flashed. When he reappeared, he was in front of Xian Xiao. Combination Gate. When Mo Qingyun arrived in front of Xian Xiao, he didn't hesitate and immediately used the combination gate. Then, a terrifying sealing power enveloped an area with a diameter of 10 meters. Puff! Being eroded by the sealing power, Xian Zhao's face turned pale and he spat out a mouthful of blood. Then, Xian Zhao's aura began to weaken rapidly. After a while, Xian Zhao's aura was about the same as Xing Zhuang's aura. My cultivation, how could it? Seeing his cultivation rapidly weakening, Xing Zhuang's eyes instantly widened, and a terrified expression appeared on his face. He wasn't Mo Qingyun's match to begin with. Now that his cultivation had fallen, he was in even more danger. At this moment, Gulanshan and the 8 Daluo golden immortal ghosts also came to Xian Zhao's side and cut off Xian Zhao's path. "Xian Xiao, you can't escape." After cutting off Xian Zhao's path, Mo Qingyun announced Xian Zhao's fate with a cold expression. Hearing Mo Qingyun's words, Xian Zhao's expression gradually turned crazy. He said, "No, I don't want to die yet. I can't die. Kill." Mo Qingyun's expression didn't change at all when he saw Xian Zhao's reaction. He nodded at Gulanshan, who was next to him. Then, Gulanshan and the 8 Daluo golden immortal ghosts joined forces and attacked Xian Xiao. Facing the siege of 9 Daluo golden immortal ghosts, Xian Zhao's life was hanging by a thread. He could be killed by Gulanshan and the others at any time. There was no other way. The attack of 8 Daluo golden immortal ghosts was basically exchanging life for life. He didn't even have a chance to breathe. He couldn't be like the ghosts who didn't care about his own life and didn't care about it. Boom, boom, boom. As Gulanshan and the others fought, a series of earth-shattering noises spread rapidly in all directions. All the living beings in the surrounding area were alarmed by the noises of Gulanshan and the others' battle. At this moment, not far below Mo Qingyun, a group of people was attracted by the battle. The young man at the front of the group was wearing a golden dragon robe and a golden crown with a dragon head on his head. If he wasn't mistaken, this young man should be the prince of some ancient country. Beside this young man were a few elders in the golden immortal realm. They should be there to protect the young man. Behind the elders, there was a group of young guards. Some of them were in the Great Star realm, and some were in the Constellation realm. Mo, junior brother Mo. At this time, the guards saw Mo Qingyun and Midair, and they were all shocked. If Mo Qingyun saw these young men, he would definitely be surprised and recognize them. These young men were none other than Golinshan and Han Siluo, who had helped him in the Iron and Blood Realm Abyss. "Guard Han, Guard Ge, do you know that young man?" Seeing the reaction of Golinshan and the others, the young man with the golden crown was surprised and looked at Han Siluo and the others with anticipation. Not only the young man with the golden crown, but the elders beside him also looked at Han Siluo and the others with excitement. "Your Highness, if I'm not mistaken, that young man should be our junior brother, Mo Qingyun." Under the gaze of the young man with the golden crown, Han Siluo and the others showed a respectful expression and immediately told him about Mo Qingyun's identity. Oh, hearing this, the young man with the golden crown was surprised and said in surprise, "Could that young man be the number one genius of the Eternal South Immortal Palace, Missouri Qingyun?" "Yes, junior brother Mo." Seeing that the young man with the golden crown had guessed Mo Qingyun's identity, Han Siluo and the others didn't dare to hide anything and immediately answered the young man with the golden crown. Hearing Han Luo and the others reply, the young man with the golden crown and the old men immediately said excitedly, "If that's the case, please introduce him to me. I've long wanted to meet the number one genius of the Eternal South Celestial Palace." This Chapter 1585. In midair, facing the joint attack of Gulan Shan and the 8 evil spirits, Xian Zhao's situation became more and more dangerous. If he was not careful, he could be killed. However, Mo Qingyun was still not satisfied with the situation. He wanted to get rid of Xian Zhao as soon as possible. Sky Soul Sealing Fist. Glancing at the situation in front of him, Mo Qingyun's expression was solemn. Without hesitation, he threw a punch at Xian Zhao. A terrifying immortal spiritual energy gathered above Xian Zhao and turned into a huge shadow of a fist. Boom! The Sky Soul Sealing Fist was extremely fast. Before Xian Zhao could react, it hit Xian Zhao below. After being hit by the Sky Soul Sealing Fist, Xian Zhao's movements were immediately restricted. He could no longer move his body. This damn brat. How does he know such a strange superpower? Under the attack of the Sky Soul Sealing Fist, Xian Zhao lost his ability to move. His expression immediately became serious. If he could not move his body, wouldn't he become a live target for Gulan Shan and the rest to attack? Seeing that the situation was not right, Xian Zhao immediately attacked the Sky Soul Sealing Fist, trying to break free from the imprisonment of the Sky Soul Sealing Fist. Boom! With Xian Zhao's terrifying cultivation, Mo Qingyun's fist naturally could not trap him. He was directly blasted away by his fist. Even so, Xian Zhao's movements were still a little slow. When Xian Zhao broke free from the Sky Soul Sealing Fist, Gulan Shan and the rest attacks also arrived and surrounded Xian Zhao. Boom, boom, boom. In the blink of an eye, several domineering attacks engulfed Xian Zhao. A terrifying spiritual energy storm erupted from Xian Zhao's body and instantly engulfed Xian Zhao. After engulfing Xian Zhao, Gulan Shan and the rest did not stop. They continued to attack Xian Zhao crazily. Boom, boom, boom. A series of deafening sounds came from the spiritual energy storm and continuously bombarded Xian Zhao's body. After being attacked by Gulan Shan and the rest, Xian Zhao was extremely angry. He roared, "Brat, if you have the ability, fight me face to face. How dare you bully me with your numbers?" "Xian Zhao, your memory seems to be too bad." Hearing Xian Zhao's angry words, Mo Qingyun curled his lips and said with a disdainful expression, "Back then, when you sent 12 disciples to hunt me down, did you ever think that they would bully you with numbers? Did you ever think that they would bully you with numbers?" Xian Zhao was at a loss for words when he heard Mo Qingyun, and he was unable to refute Mo Qingyun. Back then, when he sent Xing Zhuang and the others to hunt down Mo Qingyun, it was indeed a bit of a bully. Now that he had ended up in such a state, it could be considered retribution. Attack him with all your might. Mo Qingyun refuted Xian Zhao. He then ordered Gulan Shan and the rest to attack Xian Zhao with all their might. Then, everyone saw Gulan Shan and the rest frantically attacking Xian Zhao in the air. About 100 breaths later, a figure flew out from the spiritual energy storm. He glared at Mo Qingyun and roared, "Brat, I will remember what happened today. I will pay you back 100 times in the future." The figure that escaped from the spiritual energy storm was Xian Zhao's soul. Xian Zhao roared angrily. He turned around and ran for his life, not daring to stay a moment longer. "Did I say you can leave?" Seeing Xian Zhao's soul escape, Mo Qingyun's face was cold. A light flashed in his eyes. Then, a powerful ray shot toward Xian Xiao. Whoosh! A ray of light streaked across the sky and hit Xian Zhao's soul in the blink of an eye, causing it to tremble violently. Ah! After being hit by Mo Qingyun's soul attack, Xian Xiao screamed and roared, "Brat, you've gone too far." Although Xian Xiao was furious, he did not dare to attack Mo Qingyun. He ran even faster. He knew that if he dared to hesitate in this situation, the chances of him being killed would be higher. Teleportation gate. Mo Qingyun naturally would not let Xian Xiao escape. When he saw Xian Xiao running away, his figure flashed and chased after him. Mo Qingyun appeared behind Xian Xiao in a few flashes and shot another ray at him. This brat just won't give up. After being hit by Mo Qingyun's continuous attacks, Xian Zhao's heart was extremely sullen. He was so angry that he gritted his teeth, and his expression was ferocious. Mo Qingyun revealed a cold and indifferent expression when he saw the extremely furious Xian Xiao, and he said, "Xian Xiao, have you ever thought that a day would come when you would be chased by me to the point of having your tail between your legs? Brat, don't be so arrogant. We will meet again. One day, you will fall into my hands." Hearing Mo Qingyun's cold words, Xian Xiao was furious. He gritted his teeth and replied, "You won't have that chance." Mo Qingyun took out the Yin-Yang Sun Mother Gourd and blasted it at Xian Xiao. It exploded with a powerful suction force. Being pulled by the Yin-Yang Sun Mother Gourd, Xian Xiao was so scared that his face turned pale. He said in horror, "No, don't." Before Xian Xiao could finish his words, he was sucked into the Yin-Yang Sun Mother Gourd and died in Mo Qingyun's hands. After taking away Xian Zhao's soul, Mo Qingyun's figure flashed and disappeared from the spot. After a while, Mo Qingyun returned to the spot and came in front of Gu Lanshan and the others. "Hey, senior brother Gu, senior brother Han." Mo Qingyun came in front of Gu Lanshan and saw Gu Linsheng, Han Siluo, and the others standing beside Gu Lanshan. Because he couldn't figure out the identity of Gu Linsheng and the others, Gu Lanshan didn't attack them and let them stay by his side. Seeing that Mo Qingyun and Gu Linsheng and the others recognized each other, Gu Lanshan's gaze toward them immediately became kinder. Since they were Mo Qingyun's senior martial brothers, even if he didn't give them face, he still had to be polite to Gu Linsheng and the others. As for the princes and the others, Gu Lanshan completely ignored them. He didn't care about a mere prince of an ancient kingdom. There was no need to pay attention to them. "Senior brother Gu, senior brother Han, I didn't expect to see you here after we parted at the Iron Blood Realm Abyss." Mo Qingyun walked in front of Han Siluo and the others with a pleasantly surprised smile. He started to reminisce with Han Siluo and the others. At the same time, he also ignored the prince who was standing at the side. Ahem! Seeing that they were being ignored, the prince coughed lightly to ease his awkwardness. He said this, "General Han, can you introduce me?" "Oh, okay." Hearing the prince's words, Han Siluo revealed a terrified expression and hurriedly introduced everyone. "Junior brother Mo, this is the second prince of the Floating Dragon Ancient Kingdom, His Highness Fong Xian. These are Grand Tutor Wang Guang, Marquis Long Tufong Qiango." Han Siluo introduced everyone, and then he introduced Mo Qingyun to them as a sort of introduction. After hearing Han Siluo's introduction, Mo Qingyun nodded slightly as a greeting to Fong Xian and the others. Chapter 1586. Seeing Mo Qingyun's behavior, Fong Xian and the others' expressions changed, revealing a faint trace of displeasure. But because of Mo Qingyun's terrifying strength, they didn't dare to show it. They could only feel displeasure in their hearts. While Mo Qingyun and the others were chatting, Fong Xian chuckled awkwardly and interrupted their conversation. "Minister Mo, since you and General Han are fellow disciples, I will now make you the Grand Marshal of Chaos. Together with General Han Siluo and the others, you will quell the civil strife in the Floating Dragon Ancient Kingdom for me. Mr. Mo, Hurry up and thank the second prince for granting you the title. Yes, Mr. Emo, this is a great opportunity for you to achieve great things. Mr. Emo, the second prince thinks so highly of you. Hurry up and thank him for recognizing your worth. As Fong Xian's words fell, Wang Guang and the others smiled flatteringly and encouraged Emo Qingyun. Hearing Fong Xian and the others' words, Emo Qingyun frowned slightly and sneered. You want to make me the Grand Marshal of Chaos? And you want me to quell the civil strife in the floating dragon ancient kingdom for you? At this moment, Emo Qingyun's disdain for Fong Xian had reached its peak. A fallen prince of a fallen country had actually made him the Grand Marshal of Chaos and wanted him to quell the civil strife in his place. Was there anything more laughable than this? With Emo Qingyun's current power, would he care about some Grand Marshal of Chaos? If Emo Qingyun wanted to, he could just take over the floating dragon ancient kingdom and declare himself the emperor of the kingdom. No one would dare to say anything about it. In this way, why would Emo Qingyun accept Fong Xian's conferment and become the Grand Marshal of Chaos Calming, who was struggling to do his best? To put it bluntly, Fong Xian wanted to make use of Emo Qingyun's power by conferring the title on Emo Qingyun. This guy really had a good plan. Your Highness, from what I can see, Mr. Emo seems to be planning to make a big move soon. Why are you still calling him Mr. Emo? You should call him Marshal Emo. Marshal Emo, this old man will quietly wait for you to quell the internal strife and make a name for yourself. Congratulations, Second Prince. From now on, the floating dragon ancient country and the world will be at peace. At this moment, Wang Guang and the others were flattering Fong Xian and Emo Qingyun. Hearing the words of the people around him, Fong Xian's horse was pleasantly surprised. He looked at Emo Qingyun and said with a faint smile, Marshal Emo, if that's the case, let's return to the capital now. Return to the capital? Emo Qingyun shook his head, knowing that Fong Xian had misunderstood him. He said, Prince Fong Xian, I think you don't understand what I mean. I don't have the time to be the Grand Marshal of Chaos. You should find someone else. You. Hearing Emo Qingyun's words, Fong Xian was furious. He glared at Emo Qingyun, but couldn't say a word. He was a prince of the floating dragon ancient country, and he'd been rejected by a major star realm cultivator without hesitation. It was like a tiger being bullied by a dog. Although he was very unhappy, Fong Xian didn't dare to vent his anger. He could only suppress it. There was no helping it. Emo Qingyun was too powerful, even more powerful than the dark demon race of the floating dragon ancient country. He couldn't afford to offend him. Senior Brother Han, Senior Brother Ge. Master has already left the Eternal South Immortal Palace. Go find him now. Ignoring the angry Fong Xian, Emo Qingyun told Han Siluo and the others to meet up with Shering Feng and the others. Hearing Emo Qingyun's words, Han Siluo and the others couldn't help but hesitate. They turned to look at Fong Xian. Clearly, they couldn't ignore Prince Fong Xian's status like Emo Qingyun could. Seeing Emo Qingyun's behavior, Wang Guang suppressed his anger and said with an unhappy expression, Mr. Emo, Han Siluo and the others are generals of the kingdom. They should protect the country. You're encouraging them to leave. You're inciting them to rebel. Generals of the kingdom? Does the floating dragon ancient country still exist? Hearing Wang Guang's words, Emo Qingyun disdainfully curled his lips and sarcastically retorted. Hearing Emo Qingyun's words, Fong Xian finally couldn't hold back and shouted angrily, Emo Qingyun, you disloyal and unfilial son. I'll remove you from the position of Grand Marshal of Chaos. If that's the case, then thank you, Your Highness. Emo Qingyun smiled nonchalantly. He looked at Fong Xian with a hint of mockery and said, Also, I'd like to remind Your Highness that if there's nothing else, you should find a place to hide as soon as possible. Otherwise, you'll lose your life if the dark demon race discovers you. Senior Brother Han, Senior Brother Ge. Let's go. Emo Qingyun patted Han Siluo's shoulder and nodded at them, indicating that they didn't need to pay attention to Fong Xian and the others. Seeing Emo Qingyun's behavior, Han Siluo and the others smiled and came to a decision. Now that the floating dragon ancient country was gone, Fang Xian was still strutting around. This kind of person wasn't worthy of their loyalty. More importantly, while they were escorting Fang Xian had wantonly killed the disciples of the Eternal South Immortal Palace. They couldn't tolerate this kind of thing. Han Siluo Galinsheng, how dare you associate yourself with such a disloyal and unfilial person like Mo Qingyan? You're courting death. Seeing Han Siluo and the others' actions, Wang Guang's face darkened. He raised his hand and punched at Galinsheng. When Wang Guang attacked, Gu Lanshan's expression darkened. He said coldly, "Little old man, I think the one courting death is you." As soon as Gu Lanshan finished speaking, he raised his hand and grabbed Wang Guang, capturing him in a domineering manner. "Say, Senior, please spare my life." Grand Tutor Wang Guang acted impulsively. Please spare his life. Seeing Gu Lanshan's actions, the expressions of the people around him changed drastically. They hurriedly pleaded with Gu Lanshan. However, Gu Lanshan chose to ignore their pleas. He said coldly, "Get away from me immediately. Otherwise, I don't mind killing all of you." Hearing Gu Lanshan's words, Fang Xian and the others looked at each other, not knowing what to do. Fang Xian and the others hesitated for a moment. He did not dare to hesitate and immediately turned to flee. Seeing Fang Xian and the others running for their lives, Wang Guang's face turned pale. He became dispirited. "Is this the prince you're loyal to?" Seeing Fang Xian and the others' actions, Mo Qingyan sneered. He said, "Gu Lanshan, send him on his way. Don't make him too sad." Mr. Mo, please spare my life. I'm willing to submit to you." Seeing that Mo Qingyan wanted to kill him, Wang Guang was scared half to death. He hurriedly begged Mo Qingyan for mercy. Hearing Wang Guang's words, Mo Qingyan smiled contemptuously. He shook his head and said, "There's no need. With your cultivation, you're not worthy to be my subordinate." After Mo Qingyan finished speaking, he showed an impatient expression and ordered Gu Lanshan to kill Wang Guang. Chapter 1587. Let's go. After instructing Gu Lanshan to kill Wang Guang, Mo Qingyan nodded to Han Siluo and the others and flew towards the Eternal South Immortal Palace. "Senior brother Han, how did you leave the Iron and Blood Realm Abyss? Where are the other senior brothers and junior brothers now?" On the way to the Eternal South Immortal Domain, Mo Qingyan had a curious expression as he inquired about the others. Hearing Mo Qingyan's question, Han Luo revealed an expression of grief and indignation. He sighed and said, "Not long after you left, the people of the Eastern Dawn Immortal Palace and the other major forces entered the Iron and Blood Realm Abyss as if they had gone mad and pursued us. Speaking of which, we were quite lucky. Because of Li Chong and the others' big movements, they attracted the attention of the God Race experts, who thought that Li Chong and the others were going to start a war. Later, the God Race also sent out a large number of experts and engaged in a fierce battle with Li Chong and the others. We took the opportunity to quietly leave. Not long after we left the Iron and Blood Realm Abyss, we encountered the fleeing Prince Fang Xian and were forced to escort him out of the floating dragon ancient country. While escorting Prince Fang Xian, we encountered many ambushes, and some of our senior brothers and junior brothers died in the ambush. What we couldn't accept was that Wang Guang and the others actually killed our senior brothers and junior brothers because we didn't take good care of them. After escaping, most of our senior brothers and junior brothers died. Now only we were left. Speaking of their experiences, Han Siluo and the others were furious. They hated Fang Xian and the others to the bone. After hearing Han Siluo and the others' words, Mo Qingyun's face darkened. He said angrily that Fang Xian's life wasn't meant to end. Just now, I didn't know what he was doing. Otherwise, I would have used his blood to pay tribute to those senior brothers who died. It's all our fault. We didn't tell them what happened just now and allowed Fang Xian to escape. Hearing Mo Qingyun's words, Han Siluo and the others were full of self-blame, thinking that they had caused their senior brothers to be unable to avenge themselves. The truth was indeed so. With Mo Qingyun's strong personality, if he knew that most of his senior brothers and junior brothers had died at the hands of Fang Xian and the others, he would definitely kill them. He would definitely kill Fang Xian and the others to avenge his dead brothers. Senior brother Han, you don't have to blame yourselves. Fang Xian and the others won't be able to escape. Seeing that Han Ci Luo and the others were blaming themselves, Mo Qingyun comforted them and came out with a firm gaze. Since he knew that many of his fellow disciples of the Eternal South Immortal Palace had died at the hands of Fang Xian. This debt, Mo Qingyun naturally wouldn't let it go just like that. Once he returned from the Tianhan continent, he would settle the score with Fang Xian. Junior brother Mo, the Palace Lord, and the others have left the Eternal South Immortal Palace. Where are they now? Knowing that Shering Feng and the others were not in the Eternal South Immortal Palace, Han Siluo and the others were curious and asked about the whereabouts of Shering Feng and the others. Hearing this, Mo Qingyun didn't hide it from Han Siluo and the others. He said in a deep voice, I found a safe place and asked Master and the others to move the disciples there. After I deal with an important matter, I will meet up with them. I see. Hearing Mo Qingyun's words, Han Siluo and the others were enlightened and didn't continue to ask. After explaining the whereabouts of Shering Feng and the others, Mo Qingyun thought for a moment and said, Senior brother Han, I still have an important matter to deal with. I'm afraid I can't escort you to the Heavenly Devil Talisman Stronghold. I'll ask Gu Peilon and the others to escort you. While Mo Qingyun was speaking, a few golden celestials of the great all-embracing heaven suddenly appeared beside him. The appearance of these golden celestials of the great all-embracing heaven exuded a powerful aura that shocked Han Siluo and the others. 3 golden celestials of the great all-embracing heaven. Sensing the aura of Gu Peilon and the others, Han Siluo and the others were shocked and trembled in fear. They clearly remembered that these people didn't appear in the battle against Xian Shao. In this way, wouldn't the number of golden celestials of the great all-embracing heaven by Mo Qingyun's side be even more than they had expected? Gu Peilon, these are my senior brothers. Now I order you to escort them to the Heavenly Devil Talisman Stronghold. After summoning Gu Peilon and the others, Mo Qingyun ordered them to escort Han Siluo and the others. Gu Peilon and the others were the same as Gulan Shan. They were the ancestors of the various large clans, and they chose to submit to Mo Qingyun in order to protect their lives. Yes, Master. Gu Peilon and the others nodded and immediately accepted the order. After instructing Gu Peilon and the others, Mo Qingyun turned to look at Han Siluo and the others and said, Senior brother Han, with Gu Peilon and the others escorting you, I presume there shouldn't be any trouble. Don't worry and go to the Heavenly Devil Talisman Stronghold to wait for me. Once my matter is settled, I'll go to the Heavenly Devil Talisman Stronghold to join you. All right. Hearing Mo Qingyun's words, Han Siluo and the others nodded in agreement. Next, Han Siluo and the others set off for the Heavenly Devil Talisman Stronghold under the escort of Gu Peilon and the others. After making arrangements for Han Siluo and the others, Mo Qingyun no longer hesitated and entered the 5 directions small tower with a flash. After Mo Qingyun entered the 5 directions small tower, he left the matter of traveling to Gulan Shan and let him continue riding the lightning cloudy crane. With Gulan Shan in charge of traveling, Mo Qingyun did not have to worry about encountering any trouble along the way. Therefore, after he entered the 5 directions small tower, he began to cultivate and increase his strength. Like the previous few times, Mo Qingyun entered the 5 directions small tower this time to study the Heaven Eye inheritance and develop the potential power of the Heavenly Soul Magic Eye. Mo Qingyun discovered that when he developed the potential of the Heavenly Soul Magic Eye, the power of the other parts of the Heavenly Soul Demon Body seemed to have been stimulated a little. Although the degree of stimulation was very small, it still made Mo Qingyun very happy. It could be considered an unexpected gain. In the following time, Mo Qingyun cultivated little by little. While Mo Qingyun was heading to the heavenly soul continent, Fang Xian and the others finally walked out of the territory of the floating dragon ancient kingdom. Second Prince, in 5 days, we will enter the territory of the wind and thunder Xian dynasty. In front of a remote mountain peak, Fang Xiong Ao reported to Fang Xian with an emotional expression. Hearing Fang Xiong Ao's report, Fang Xian showed a gloomy expression. He gritted his teeth angrily and said, "When I reach the wind and thunder Xian dynasty and see my aunt, I will ask her to send people to help me restore my country. I must tear that Mo Qingyun into pieces and hang the corpses of the people of the eternal South Immortal Palace on the city wall." Hearing Fang Xian's words, Fang Xiong Ao and the others had a complicated expression, and a trace of worry appeared between their brows. They could naturally see that Mo Qingyun's potential was extraordinary, and the strength behind him was not ordinary. If Fang Xian insisted on going against Mo Qingyun, it was obviously not a wise decision, and he might end up burning himself. But because of Fang Xian's identity and his current mood, they could not persuade him. Chapter 1588. 2 days later, under Gulanshan's full speed, he came to a valley and stood in front of a teleportation array. This was the entrance to the 7 ancient paths that Shi Yingfeng told Mo Qingyun about. "Master, we've arrived at the entrance to the 7 ancient paths." Standing in front of the teleportation array, Gulanshan transmitted his voice to Mo Qingyun, telling her his current location. Hearing Gulanshan's words, Mo Qingyun's figure flashed and appeared beside Gulanshan. When Mo Qingyun appeared, a powerful bloodline aura radiated from his body. Gulanshan was shocked by Mo Qingyun's bloodline aura. He looked at Mo Qingyun in shock. Master's bloodline is even stronger than before. Even the royal family of the Tianhun demon clan doesn't have such a powerful bloodline. After this discovery, Gulanshan's reverence for Mo Qingyun became even stronger. "We're finally going back to the Tianhun continent." Mo Qingyun sighed as he stood at the entrance to the 7 ancient paths. He couldn't wait to return. He'd been away from the Tianhun continent for many years, and now he could finally return. Activate the teleportation array. Glancing at the scene before him, Mo Qingyun nodded at Gulanshan, indicating for him to activate the teleportation formation. Gulanshan didn't dare hesitate when he heard Mo Qingyun's order. He immediately activated the teleportation array. Under Gulanshan's control, the teleportation array shone with dazzling light and a powerful energy. "Let's go." Seeing that the teleportation array was activated, Mo Qingyun nodded to Gulanshan and stepped into the teleportation array. Then, Mo Qingyun and his companion disappeared from where they stood, at the foot of a mountain on the path of immortality. All of a sudden, 2 figures appeared in the air, looking around blankly. These 2 people were none other than Mo Qingyun and Mo Qingyun, who were using the teleportation formation. "We're finally back on the path of immortality. I wonder how Master and the others are doing." Mo Qingyun was excited when he looked around. He couldn't wait to see Tenlinjian and the others. Hearing Mo Qingyun's words, Gulanshan's face was filled with confusion. "Master? Did Master once become a disciple here?" Gulanshan was more and more surprised the more he thought about it. He looked at Mo Qingyun with more and more admiration. If Mo Qingyun was really born here, then it was shocking that he could grow to this level. "Let's go." Looking around, Mo Qingyun confirmed his location and said to Gulanshan, "Let's go." As soon as Mo Qingyun finished speaking, he rode the lightning cloud crane towards the weapon talisman sect. The size of the immortal path was nothing to Mo Qingyun, who was riding a horse. In just half a day, Mo Qingyun and Gulanshan arrived at the weapon talisman sect. However, what surprised Mo Qingyun was that the artifact talisman sect was now in ruins, and it had become a complete mess. How could this be? What happened to the weapon talisman sect? Mo Qingyun's face darkened when he saw the state of the weapon talisman sect. A murderous intent burst out from his body. It didn't matter who they were. Since they dared to destroy the weapon talisman sect, there was no way he would forgive them. Gulanshan's expression changed when he sensed the change in Mo Qingyun's aura. His heart sank too. It seems like the sect that Master used to be in has met with misfortune. While Gulanshan was immersed in his thoughts, Mo Qingyun arrived at the entrance of the weapon talisman sect with a flicker. There were many talisman masters with low cultivation at the entrance of the weapon talisman sect. They were looking for opportunities in the ruins of the weapon talisman sect. My friend, do you know why the weapon talisman sect ended up like this? Mo Qingyun came to a young man and asked him why the weapon talisman sect ended up like this. Due to the anger in Mo Qingyun's heart, he didn't suppress his aura. Instead, he released the aura of a major star without holding back. Under the pressure of Mo Qingyun's aura, the young man was so scared that his body went limp. He said in a trembling voice, Senior, I don't know the details. I only heard that the weapon talisman sect offended a powerful faction from the Wasteland continent. They came to exterminate the sect as punishment. People from the Wasteland continent? Mo Qingyun's face twitched when he heard the young man's words. He felt a strong sense of uneasiness. He thought to himself, so I'm late. Chun Hyun Myung's people have already arrived. In Mo Qingyun's opinion, Chun Hyun Myung should be the only person from the Wasteland continent who came from the Wasteland continent. Since they didn't know where he came from, they wouldn't send people to the path of immortality for revenge. Have you heard of any survivors from the weapon talisman sect? Although Mo Qingyun knew that the chances of Tan Linjan and the others surviving were slim, he couldn't help but ask. After hearing Mo Qingyun's question, the young man thought for a moment and said, It's said that when those people came to attack the weapon talisman sect, the people of the weapon talisman sect discovered the danger ahead of time. Before they arrived, they found a place to hide. Hide? Mo Qingyun's face lit up. He was very surprised by this. Just as Mo Qingyun was feeling happy, the young man continued. Because they couldn't find the people of the weapon talisman sect, those people destroyed the weapon talisman sect. Later, they wantonly killed the disciples of the weapon talisman sect on the path of immortality. I hope Master and the others are fine. After hearing the young man's story, Mo Qingyun's expression tensed up. He was very worried about Tan Linjan and the others. While Mo Qingyun was worried about Tan Linjan and the others, he immediately thought of the danger Yi Wuyo and the others on the Heavenly Soul Continent were in. If these people can't find Master and the others on the path of immortality, they will definitely set off for the Heavenly Soul Continent. I must return to the Heavenly Soul Continent immediately. Thinking of this, Mo Qingyun didn't dare to hesitate. He immediately summoned Mo Zai and said, Mo Zai, stay here and look for Master and the others. I will set off for the Heavenly Soul Continent immediately. Mo Qingyun instructed Mo Zai. He also arranged for some golden immortals to help Mo Zai find the people of the weapon talisman sect. Gulanshan, let's go. After instructing Mo Zai, Mo Qingyun didn't dare to waste any time. He immediately set off for the Heavenly Soul Continent with Gulanshan. Mo Qingyun was very familiar with returning to the Heavenly Soul Continent from the path of immortality. He directly entered the void with Gulanshan and hurried on their way. With the previous experience, Mo Qingyun hurried on his way through the void again. He was also very familiar with the route. Mo Qingyun and Gulanshan hurried on for more than half a day before they returned to the Heavenly Soul Continent. They quickly rode to Qingyun Palace. After several hours of hurrying, Mo Qingyun finally returned to Qingyun Palace. He saw the ruins of Qingyun Palace. Am I too late? Looking at the mess in front of him, Mo Qingyun's face turned pale. A strong sense of grief and indignation rose in him. Chapter 1589. Master, this sect doesn't seem to have been destroyed. Some of the palaces are still intact. Gulanshan was shocked when he saw the interior of Qingyun Palace. He quickly reported to Mo Qingyun. Mo Qingyun was shocked when he heard Gulanshan's words. He immediately flew toward Qingyun Palace. Mo Qingyun entered Qingyun Palace in a few flashes. He saw some disciples walking around. Seeing this, Mo Qingyun revealed an impatient expression and immediately went to find Supremacy, Su Chao, and the others. Some of the disciples were about to stop Mo Qingyun when they saw what Mo Qingyun was doing. However, before these disciples could speak, Mo Qingyun's figure had already disappeared. The internal layout of the Qingyun Palace had not changed from before. It was still the same as before. Mo Qingyun arrived at Supreme Su Chao's residence with ease. He saw Supreme Su Chao and the others chatting. Qingyun, Mas, Master, Mas, Master. Everyone was shocked when they saw Mo Qingyun walking into the courtyard. They could not believe what they were seeing. Mo Qingyun was back. They immediately rubbed their eyes to make sure that they were not seeing things. When they realized that they were not seeing things, they were overjoyed and excited. This was undoubtedly the best news for them. With Mo Qingyun here, the danger of Qingyun Palace was no longer a problem. Master? They are all Master's disciples? Gulanshan was shocked when he saw Supreme Su Chao and the others. He was even more curious about Mo Qingyun's identity. He could tell that Supreme Su Chao and the others had low cultivation. They had not even reached the peak of the 9th layer of the martial path. Mo Qingyun actually had such a disciple. This was beyond his expectations. In Gulanshan's opinion, Mo Qingyun's talents should not be so bad even if he were to accept disciples. What's going on in Qingyun Palace? After a simple greeting, Mo Qingyun walked over to a stone bench and sat down with a solemn expression on his face. Seeing that Supreme Su Chao and the others were fine, Mo Qingyun was sure that Chun Hyunmyung's men were not here yet. If Chun Hyunmyung's men were here, Supreme Su Chao and the others would not stand a chance against them. Therefore, the people who were attacking Qingyun Palace should be from another party. Master, do you remember a guy called Lang Ping? Supreme Su Chao didn't answer Mo Qingyun's question. Instead, he asked Mo Qingyun a question. Lang Ping? Mo Qingyun frowned. He was surprised by Supreme Su Chao's words, but he still nodded and said, I remember him. Could it be that Lang Ping has something to do with what's happening in Qingyun Palace? Lang Ping, you're pretty bold to dare cause trouble in Qingyun Palace. Mo Qingyun had already decided to kill Lang Ping. He murmured, I spared your life last time on account of Siya. Since you don't know how to cherish your life, don't blame me for what happens next. That's right. Lang Ping is the reason why Qingyun Palace is in such a dangerous situation. Seeing that Mo Qingyun still remembered Lang Ping, Supreme Su Chao explained everything to Mo Qingyun. He said, Lang Ping said that Master has ruined his plan, so he's going to kill Master's family and make Master regret it for the rest of his life. Mo Qingyun's expression turned even uglier after hearing Supreme Su Chao's words. At the same time, Mo Qingyun was a little confused. He asked, I don't think Lang Ping is strong enough to deal with Qingyun Palace, right? Did he find a powerful helper? That's right. Lang Ping isn't strong enough to deal with Qingyun Palace on his own. Supreme Su Chao did not try to hide the truth when Mo Qingyun guessed the reason. He told Mo Qingyun the truth. Lang Ping's helper is extremely powerful. Most importantly, he knows some abilities that are similar to Master's. Similar to my abilities? Is he a member of the Heavenly Soul Demon Clan? Mo Qingyun was surprised when he heard Supreme Su Chao's words. He could not help but think of someone. Is it him? I didn't think that Lang Ping would be working with him. No wonder Qi Lian and the others are no match for him. After guessing that person's identity, a faint smile appeared on Mo Qingyun's face. He said expectantly, I've always heard people say that in some powerful clans, there are some super genius juniors who go out alone to train and increase their strength. That person should be one of them. Bang, bang, bang. While Mo Qingyun and the others were talking, a series of loud noises were heard, accompanied by a terrifying storm of yuan qi. The entire Qing Yun Palace began to shake under the impact of the yuan qi, as if an earthquake was happening. "They're here." Supreme Su Chao and the others were shocked when they sensed the commotion in Qing Yun Palace. Worry surfaced on their faces. Mo Qingyun's face darkened when he noticed the commotion outside Qing Yun Palace. He said angrily, "Since you've delivered yourself to me, it'll save me the trouble." As soon as Mo Qingyun finished speaking, he led Paragon Su Chao and the others to deal with Lang Ping and the others. Soon, a group of 9 heaven supremes and rulers appeared in Mo Qingyun's sight. A familiar figure entered Mo Qingyun's eyes at the front of the group. This person was none other than Lang Ping. At this moment, Lang Ping had a flattering expression on his face as he smiled apologetically at someone beside him. If nothing went wrong, this person should be Lang Ping's master, a heavenly soul demon who was training on the heavenly soul continent. "Lang Ping, don't you dare be so arrogant." While Mo Qingyun was staring at Lang Ping and the others, a scarlet figure flew over in the form of a streak of light. Su Chao and the others were shocked when they saw the scarlet figure. They said with respect and admiration, Palace Lord Qi Lian has come out of seclusion." How is this possible? He had heard some things about Mo Qingyun from Lang Ping. A few years ago, when Lang Ping met Mo Qingyun was only at the transcendent tier. In just a few years, Mo Qingyun's cultivation had broken through from the transcendent tier to the true immortal realm. Wasn't this cultivation speed a little too fast? True immortal realm. Sensing the aura of the palm in the air, Lang Ping also knew Mo Qingyun's cultivation. With a crazed expression, he said, "No, impossible. In just a few years, how could your cultivation have increased so much?" Before Lang Ping could finish speaking, the huge palm grabbed him and brought him to Mo Qingyun. Don't kill me." After being captured by the huge palm and brought to Mo Qingyun, Lang Ping was so scared that his face turned pale. He hurriedly begged Mo Qingyun for mercy. Only now did he realize how stupid and laughable his actions were. This feeling was like a little mouse putting on airs in front of tiger. "I've already given you a chance. It's you who didn't know how to cherish it." In response to Lang Ping's begging, Mo Qingyun responded indifferently. With a clench of his hand, he directly crushed Lang Ping into powder. After killing Lang Ping with one blow, Mo Qingyun turned his head to look at Yu Yun and said with a faint smile, "I'll also give you a chance to live. From now on, become my slave, and I can spare your life." Hearing Mo Qingyun's words, Yu Yun's expression flickered. Anger and humiliation rose in his heart. Just now, he flaunted his prowess in front of Mo Qingyun and made Mo Qingyun his star general. In the blink of an eye, his and Mo Qingyun's identities were reversed. This situation was really ironic. More importantly, he could not refuse Mo Qingyun unless he was tired of living. I submit to you." Under the pressure of Mo Qingyun's aura, Yu Yun showed an unwilling expression and nodded his head to express his submission. Seeing Yu Yun's reaction, Mo Qingyun revealed a faint smile and said, "Open up your consciousness. I want to plant a soul imprint in it." Hearing Mo Qingyun's request, although Yu Yun was extremely unwilling, he still opened up his consciousness. Then, Mo Qingyun planted a soul imprint in Yu Yun's consciousness. After doing all this, Mo Qingyun's gaze swept over the others, a sinister look appearing on his face. These people were all powerhouses of the Tianhan continent. They all knew that Qing Yun Palace was founded by him. In this way, they still dared to invade Qing Yun Palace. This was truly unforgivable. Thinking of this, Mo Qingyun waved his hand and killed them all with a flick of his sleeve. With a wave of his hand, he killed dozens of Supreme Being powerhouses. What kind of strength was this? Seeing Mo Qingyun's terrifying strength, Qi Lian and the others widened their eyes, feeling that this was so unreal. This kind of strength had already exceeded their scope of understanding. Let's go. Chapter 1591. I am from the Weihai River branch of the Heavenly Soul Demon Clan. As my talent is not as good as Yufei's, I was sent out to train until I reached the Heavenly Immortal Realm. After hearing Mo Qingyun's question, Yu Yun told Mo Qingyun about his background. After hearing Yu Yun's story, Mo Qingyun had a look of understanding. He had a better understanding of the Heavenly Soul Demon Clan. It seemed that the geniuses of the powerful clans had their own background and were not specific to the entire clan. Some of the geniuses from the branches might be sent out to train. In addition, there were requirements for their training. As long as their cultivation reached a certain level, they could return to the clan to be nurtured. It was not like what Mo Qingyun thought. Some of the geniuses who were sent out to train had to rely on their own strength to grow. Yu Yun had left the Heavenly Soul Demon Clan too early. He was not very familiar with the situation of the Heavenly Soul Demon Clan. This made Mo Qingyun a little disappointed. It seems that I can only think of a way in the future. After hearing Yu Yun's story, Mo Qingyun could not help but sigh. He thought to himself, with Yu Yun's information, I can start from the Weihai River branch if I want to enter the Heavenly Soul Demon Clan in the future. After that, Mo Qingyun chatted with Yu Yun for a while and asked about the details of the Heavenly Soul Demon Clan. While Mo Qingyun and the rest were talking, a terrifying aura suddenly descended on Qingyun Palace. The aura of a golden, immortal realm elite. Sensing the aura outside, Yu Yun was so frightened that his face turned pale. He turned to Mo Qingyun and asked, Master, a golden immortal realm elite is attacking. Are they here for you? In Yu Yun's opinion, Mo Qingyun had just returned and a golden immortal realm elite was attacking. Naturally, they were here for Mo Qingyun. They're quite fast. Let's go out and take a look. Sensing the aura outside, Mo Qingyun smiled faintly, got up, and walked outside. When they saw Mo Qingyun walking out of the conference hall, the rest of the people quickly followed him. They were all very nervous. Gulanshan, do your best to protect everyone and prevent them from being injured by the battle shockwaves. As he walked out of the Azure Cloud Palace, he reminded Gulanshan to avoid getting hurt by the aftermath of the battle. All right. Hearing Mo Qingyun's order, Gulanshan nodded. After a while, everyone followed Mo Qingyun and arrived outside Qingyun Palace. At this moment, above the Qingyun Palace, there were dozens of figures with powerful auras standing. They looked at the Qingyun Palace coldly. I don't want to kill too much. As long as you hand over Mo Qingyun's clansmen, I will spare your lives. Seeing Mo Qingyun and the others come out, the middle-aged man who was the leader of the group ordered coldly. Seeing that they had nowhere to run, Thousand Rainbow Mountain immediately begged for mercy, hoping to save their lives. Hearing Thousand Rainbow Mountain's pleas, Mo Qingyun ordered the ghosts not to kill Thousand Rainbow Mountain for the time being. Looking at the pale-faced Thousand Rainbow Mountain, Mo Qingyun said coldly, seeing that you didn't want to kill anyone just now, I'll give you a chance to live. From now on, if you work for me honestly, I can spare your life. Work for you? Thousand Rainbow Mountain looked hesitant as a strong struggle arose in his heart. This was a difficult decision to make. While Thousand Rainbow Mountain was hesitating, the people from the Thousand Illusion tribe around him died one after another at the hands of the perfected golden celestial ghosts. Seeing his tribesmen being killed one by one, Thousand Rainbow Mountain's face turned paler and paler. The fear in his heart grew stronger and stronger. It was obvious that if he did not submit to Mo Qingyun, he would end up like the others. I submit to you. After a fierce struggle, Thousand Rainbow Mountain finally decided to submit. He did not want to die here. Seeing that Thousand Rainbow Mountain was willing to submit, Mo Qingyun revealed a satisfied smile and said, "Open up your sea of consciousness. I want to plant a soul imprint in it." Yes. Hearing Mo Qingyun's order, Thousand Rainbow Mountain immediately responded and opened up his sea of consciousness without hesitation. Not long after, Mo Qingyun planted a soul imprint in Thousand Rainbow Mountain's sea of consciousness. He stood respectfully in front of Mo Qingyun. After subduing Thousand Rainbow Mountain, Mo Qingyun did not beat around the bush. He directly ordered him, "Thousand Rainbow Mountain, return to 1,000 illusions immediately and investigate a person called Long Hanyan for me." Yes. Hearing Mo Qingyun's order, Thousand Rainbow Mountain responded and returned to 1,000 illusions. After instructing Thousand Rainbow Mountain, Mo Qingyun got Supreme Shu Chao and the others to clean up the battlefield. He then led the others back to Qingyun Palace. As soon as Mo Qingyun entered the meeting hall, he saw Yi Wuyo and the other girls. They all welcomed him excitedly. "Qingyun, you're finally back. Junior brother Qingyun, if you didn't come back soon, Zishu and the others would have gotten lovesick. Senior sister Wuyo, you're still talking about us. You're the one who brought up Qingyun the most." The crowd gathered in front of Mo Qingyun and started chattering like singing birds. Wuyo, Ruoshui, Yishu, looking at the girls standing before him, Mo Qingyun revealed a bright smile and hugged them one by one. After a simple greeting, Mo Qingyun walked to Mo Hantian and said in a deep voice, "Grandfather, is everyone ready? If everyone is ready, we can set off for the wasteland continent now." "Everything is ready,"